Hello, everyone, and welcome to a delayed last Epoch podcast with the Maxroll team.
My fault.
Yes, as always,
My fault. I was on vacation. I just came back. So, okay, please bear with me. I don't even know what the team has done yet. I know some of the stuff. I came back yesterday night. Started working on some builds, updating some builds, reading the patch notes today. Like freaking, I need to crunch. I need to crunch like crazy.
But you
2
had the
days left.
chance to read the patch notes while you were in vacation, yeah? So you're familiar with the primal items and stuff?
I read the patch notes, like the full official patch notes today.
Okay.
I looked maybe like for 1 minute, maybe every 2 days on Discord over some messages, but like that's pretty much it. That's pretty much yeah.
It's gonna be
But
interesting to
now
have
I've read
the
all the
raw.
patch notes today. Right. It's
Perfect.
very
So
fresh.
you've been reading everything on stream to catch up, And as a heads up, for this patch, none of us, or any other creator rather, had access to CT or any pre-testing or any inside information or anything like that. And that means that we have been working really hard since the 14th, so like for the 4 days now or something. And we are now going to talk about the patch and about our expectations. There's still a few days before the patch, so maybe we'll come up with some crazy stuff to put on the tier list and all that. But I guess we're gonna kind of like have a look at the patch. We're gonna analyze a bit what we think the meta is gonna be, what the strong builds are gonna be. We're gonna talk about nerfs, buffs, meta, items, potential, sleeper things, baits, that kind of stuff. We're PoE now basically.
The build police.
Yeah, we're the build police now, I guess, and build the drama, and we can't say.
Mafia.
Yeah, we can't say anymore, trust me, bro, I've played this. We need to say, trust me, bro, trust me, basically, right? So
yeah.
I hope it works. And as me, as always, the team, Volka, Terek, and Bina, say hi, guys, and,
Hello, what's up?
Yep. Volka's been basically taking care of a lot of the Acolyte stuff, mainly, no?
I mean, I have 20 builds, so I have quite a bit of everything except mage, I guess, and minions. No minions, but
20 builds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, lots of Acolyte, lots of everything, Sentinel, many updates.
Terek, as always, working
hard.
hard.
He is a passionate man,
Yeah.
I mean, Volka is pretty passionate about making builds. To be honest,
of course.
He's always freaking working his brain to, come up with the new stuff. So it's good.
Yeah.
Making builds, yes. Playing them, nah.
The thing is, like, I'm like actually kind of hyped now for the patch. Like, I want to play my Flay build. I mean, hopefully it's good because I can't test it, but it looks good, right? So hopefully I actually have time to play. Should be fine.
I guess that's a good place to start the podcast. No, we could literally just start talking about pretty much the only brand new skill of the patch, which is Flay for Acolyte. So I don't know if Polka, if you wanna give us a bit of a rundown of what the skill tree is. What do you think are good nodes that they're basically must-haves, must-takes, things that you feel like maybe are the audience should know about, or they should be what is a bait, what is good, like all of that.
I saw many people, like, the first thing people saw was the mana stacking stuff, which, I mean, I also actually had that build on the site, but then I mean, this was nerfed, this node, so this actually is 2 points, I think, in the patch notes. So it's not
in the
4
patch
points.
Notes,
it gives you also plus mana cost on Flay, and the mana cost of Flay is like 10 already. And then you're gonna proc, like, on the left side note there, you're gonna proc like Chaos Bolts. Those consume mana, and like, you don't really, like, the only way you generated mana with that build was with the new axe, right? The unique axe. Gave you like mana on harvest use, but it's not on harvest use. You have to hit a rare or boss enemy with harvest, and the harvest has 5-second cooldown. So I basically, I was thinking, like, I made the build. I was like, okay, people are hyped, and then I'm like, okay, like, how are you actually gonna play this? Like, let's say your damage actually is good, like you play Monolith or something, you get to a rare. How do you get mana back? Because, like, you need to, like, time to harvest or something, and it's like very, very clunky. Sounds very bad, and this is gonna use like as much mana as like Erasing Strike or something. So I was like, there's no way you can actually, like, it's gonna do damage, I'm guessing, but you actually can't play it.
It definitely feels like the mana stuff has a lot of potential once you have like a big enough setup where like even if you don't min-max the hit back and stuff of the mana, you have so much mana that you can kind of get away with murder because you just turn into a god kind of. But it definitely doesn't seem like a starter-friendly node, to say the least, right?
Yeah. It was basically like the guide turned out to be like, okay, you need to have a T7 here, and you need to have this unique, and like you need to have 2 million mana and everything. So it's like, I'm like, okay. So I remake the build and no mana stacking, and just getting like a new T8 affix for the flat damage and stuff, and like focusing more on actual damage multipliers than the mana stacking one. So I think now it's much more playable. I mean, hopefully, I can't test it, but and should deal quite a bit of damage. Well, I mean, we'll see how much it deals and stuff. But yeah, it's also way tankier now to set up.
Yeah, because you don't have to build as much mana. You don't have to focus on the gimmick, right? So you can just actually make a more solid character. And again, I do think the mana stacking will eventually. You're gonna see some people stacking it and make something that pops off. But we definitely have to see how the harvest stuff feels, because again, Volka's talking about this, like you have to hit a rare, and you have this situation sometimes in last Epoch where you see a big guy, you think they're gonna be a rare, and they're not, and then there's this, you go in, and then when you need a rare, there's no rares around. Well, what happens if you're playing an arena, and an arena map or like a tomb or whatever the fuck, and there's no rares? Well, just wait, I guess.
I think it's gonna work fine on bossing, but how do you get your mana back on mapping? So it's like,
and I think it's gonna be the kind of build that you are gonna see some clip on Reddit of someone playing Trade League or whatever with double tier 7 manas, hitting the dummy and being like, oh, look at my build, right? And then if you actually try to go in the map and play that, it might be a bit of a different experience,
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, what else? I mean, this skill overall, like it's a melee skill. You proc the spell. Like the melee part of it looks very low damage, so it's like not much multipliers and stuff on the melee part. The spell looks pretty good because you can get the curse multiplier.
Yeah, this node seems to be the way to go now. Like
yeah. So that's pretty nice, and then you can proc like marrow shards also, and those don't cost mana, so that's nice. You have a lot of multipliers on marrow shards as well. So that's the idea there, pretty much.
Yeah, it's
and
like a free hit, right? Basically, extra.
Yeah, and I mean, it should be quite a bit of damage also, right? It's not like a low damage skill, marrow shard. So especially when you just auto proc it, right?
And again, the worst part of marrow shards always was the actual aiming, and well, that's solved. It goes automatically.
Also, there's some like tech with the marrow shard, like consuming minions and the new boots and skeletons. So you basically get the new boots. They like auto summon the skeleton for you. It's a pretty low chance, but hopefully it's reliable. And then you consume the minions with the marrow shards, and then you also get like mana when the skeletons die, and you get increased spell damage and stuff. So, and actually you can spec like skeleton resummon on the necro passive, so you get 80% resummon total. So like this should be like, hopefully this takes care of the mana, and that's what I'm hoping.
Especially at least early game, you don't, so you can play without having to think too much about it. And it doesn't feel, because I feel like if you play an ability like Flay, that it basically the fantasy that is trying to show is kind of like this very, like, imagine if Lunge had no cooldown, is the Bife, right? Where you're just like fucking dashing in and boom, 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 and shit procking everywhere. If you have a build like that, and you have to actually micromanage your mana and slow down because of mana, it's like having a Ferrari and having to drive at 30 miles per hour because the fucking, council doesn't allow you to go fast or whatever for safety, So it's gonna be a tricky build to see evolve for sure. I also seen a lot of people going for the dot approach, and I have a lot of questions of why, basically, other than it's Flay, basically.
I don't really see a reason to go dot unless there's something hiding somewhere. I mean, but
because for the spellcaster, the reason to do Flay, it's obvious. It's the mana node, right? You actually get more damage if you do this. But if you're doing dots, are you gonna cast Chaos Bolts when you could just like cast Chaos Bolts yourself for free with the regular build? You know, like it seems a bit reverse engineering. You know, that it's a bit cooked, but
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think this like should be a fun skill, at least like looking at the stuff they showed and stuff like that. So hopefully it's good and you know we can enjoy it. We have it on A tier at the moment because I mean it looks like A tier, but we'll see.
Is this the heart seeker of the patch, basically? Kind of everyone excited and
could be.
You know, it's gonna be good, but you know.
Yeah, it could be one of those. Like it's good, but not like insane, you know, crazy. But we'll see.
Yeah. I kind of have the same vibe. I mean, I'm gonna play it just because, you know, for the views. But yeah, if you compare it, you know,
For the views.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, you mentioned melee Lich.
Oh no.
We have a pretty decent, solid tier list. Oh. Do you wanna talk about this briefly?
I mean, this is on D tier because I'm just expecting it to be like pretty low damage, and like if it did damage, because like the numbers they are not high on Harvest. So, and this one also uses Flay, so it's kind of like why would you play this when you can play the most likely better build, that one we just went over. But I mean that's the only bad thing. It's just low damage most likely. So, but I made like a pretty nice min-maxed setup. So it's still like playable, you know. I'm guessing it's gonna be like 5 million DPS, you know. So very low. But yeah.
Thing is also with this patch, like the power level of builds is going up like crazy. Feels like even 10 million DPS is bad now.
Yeah.
Like it's like you go like, oh, I have 10 million DPS. Okay, it's like some of the lowest things that we have, you know.
10 DPS, 10 million DPS for us now is basically, you know, it barely makes it into the list, pretty much. No.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't have like 20, you're like you're falling off. Or you're like if you're falling behind, I don't know. It's and it's not because it's bad. Like you know, 15 million DPS feels good. Even at 1,000 corruption, you know.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. Like even like 10 million DPS build, it can do everything in the game, right? So
yeah.
Even Uber. So
yeah, but again, that the build that has 10 million DPS, you know, it's gonna do a 10-minute Uber plus or whatever.
Yeah, it's a slow Uber.
Yeah, and
yeah, of course, but it's like it's kind of crazy, like the power in the game right now. Like I don't know, kind of crazy. There's not much balance basically.
So yeah, again, I'll be starting Lich myself, and I'm probably gonna play Flay. I'm still deciding, but it definitely seems that it's not. It's something you play because it's flavor of the patch, and not so much because there's a reason to, right? When it comes to power, other than it looks cool, it's fun, it's new, let's play it. But if there was money on the line, no one's playing this, right? Basically, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, what else about Lich? Like the Lich rework has been personally for me quite traumatic, right? I'm a very, very old school Lich player. It's probably my most played class. I've been a big Dead Seal enjoyer since it exists, right? With the playstyle of like going in, blah blah blah, you know, and feeling very, you know, managing your life, and that is basically kind of completely gone.
You are being targeted, Lizard. It starts with Vengeance and then goes with Volta Reversal and now Death Seal. You are targeted.
Oh shit.
They look at what you play and then they decide, how can we change this in some way?
Yeah, maybe it's not even about making it weak, it's just about crushing my soul, you know? It has nothing to do with power. It's just want to see me suffer, you know? Yeah, I mean, still gonna be fun, but it's just, you know, when you get used to something, nobody likes changes, right? Like this, so I'll get used to it. It'll be fine.
I mean,
But
Lich
yeah.
is gonna be tanky at least. Like if you build it nicely and you get the gear, and like there's so many like sources of like DR, and like the
Yeah.
passives are pretty tanky.
Uh,
I guess you can use the new Death Seal and.
But it's
maybe.
crazy though how like they basically the Lich was already very tanky, right? Last patch. Well, if you know what you were doing with that seal, red rings, stacking, armor stacking with intelligence, that stuff, right? And they just like giga, buffed the tankiness for whatever reason, and they turned Dead Seal into Flame Ward. Even though everyone complains, hey, every mage is Flame Ward, please don't make us do this. And I was like, well, if you don't have, Dead Seal on your bar, you're just gonna feel kind of like bad. I feel
yeah, I mean, even if you just use it unspec'd, like it's
exactly like the fact that
it's like a rebuke, but you can move.
Yeah, it's like, well, why are we adding another one of this? Like I don't know. It feels a bit backwards personally. And again, you're not gonna be squishy without it. But if you Dead Seal, you can literally face tank like any slam in the game, pretty much. Right? That is a hit. So yeah, I don't know, and I'm just worried about the damage of Lich personally. Like it wasn't a class that was famous for damage to begin with, and we lost the 66% damage of Dead Seal, and we are not really getting it back really. Some builds might be able to get some, like the Chaos Bolts build with Flay with the mana stacking, but this is not. This is gonna be a very particular build now. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fast. It's gonna be tanky. It's gonna be like you're gonna feel like you're a bruiser, right? It's gonna be cool, but maybe it's not the class to crash the game damage wise, like day 1, day 2, right?
Yeah, even for leveling, like back in the day, you would rely on
Dead Seal.
Death Seal a lot. Yeah.
Mm.
No, I haven't really looked at it yet, but I feel like it's the class is gone because Flay you unlock it at like 30 points.
30 points, yeah.
So you're gonna be like ZDPS before.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you go Riblot, right? And then you get Riblot Feather thingy with spirits like always. Then you get Spirit Plague, and then at 35 you get Marrow Shards on top of Riblot and hope it's enough, right?
Exactly, like it's gonna be enough, but it won't ever compete with like the class that have like giga leveling.
Yeah,
like, this never be like.
And if you actually want to do damage, you're probably gonna be playing Infernal Shade, which it's better on Necro anyway, right? So it's like I don't know. It's like we'll see. I'm a bit of a doomer when it comes. It's gonna be fun as fuck to play, but in terms of tier list and stuff, and then minions, no, Necro changes. What is your feeling? I know Volka, you're very excited, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge minion enjoyer, right? Like insane. Well, I mean, it seems like Bear is gonna be very OP. Yeah. I mean, Bear is gonna be OP, I guess, and Abomination, but I mean, yeah, cool, No minions.
I'm pretty happy for Beastmaster's minion. I mean, changing them so that they I mean, maybe they overdid it a little bit with Bear, but like I think it's a good change. I think it's nice having more. These are practically new builds that weren't really played that much, right?
I played them, but I guess we can talk about this minion overbuffing, this kind of stuff, because historically, by the community, right, by most of the community, people have complained about minions and their power quite a lot, right? In general,
people say minions are bad, but like, actually, minions are are some of the most OP stuff, and they always have been.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like because skeleton warriors have always historically been very weak, and I think they're still weak, right? People try that, and because that is weak, they just assume all minions are weak. When in reality, especially the Beastmaster minions, they were super overpowered before. But people weren't building them properly. They complained they were already OP, and now that they buffed them, and some of them they overbuffed, now they're not gonna be OP. They're gonna be like I think Earthquake Werebear is gonna make Timebrought look like a bad build, you know, like the Javelin build, basically. We're talking that amount of damage, you know. It's gonna be absolute crazy. Absolute crazy.
I mean, we can talk also about like without even talking about specifics of like a particular minion, but just in general, like they got 10% more damage because of the minion power buff. It went from 45% more to 60.
15 more. 15
Yeah,
more,
but it goes
more
from
damage.
44,
Yeah.
45
Yeah,
to
to 60, but overall it's like a 10%
Yeah, it's 10 more.
damage.
Exactly. And then you have like the primordial that are like giga damage. And and on top of it, you buff the skill trees and everything in Primalist. And also the passive tree, like it is getting a bit too crazy.
Aspect of the shark, you know. Holy.
Oh my god. Now it's more damage. And also we have like a way to scale every single aspect now for the minions.
Yeah.
Like which is completely like insane, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be an absolute. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, basically.
And Beastmaster already has like a crazy good aspect of the boar, and then they add another less damage taken at the top of the tree as well.
Yeah.
And a +1 companion, and this. I mean, there's
And
there's
+1, dude. I was looking, bro. Like again, I was kind of memeing about Acolyte about this. Like you go into the Lich tree, right? And you have nodes like, all right, you know, this gives me. Okay, compare this node, yeah. It gives you 2 dexterity, 18% increased crit, 8%, sorry, and 4 ward on dodge, whatever the fuck that is for, you know? And then you go to Beastmaster, and on the same spot, right? On the same spot, let's obtain Raptor, whatever. On the same spot, you go to the passives, or on the same top of the tier, and you have this node, right? Which gives you shared with 5 points, right? 5 points investment. It's 15 shared crit reduction, 50 flat health, 50 minion health, 50% minion health, and a plus to all minion skills. And I'm getting 2 dexterity exactly. Like what? Like, huh? Like, it's like
it's gonna be a big Beastmaster patch. I think.
Like,
I think like a lot of people are gonna cook on many of these minion builds. For sure.
And by the way, you wanna get intelligence? Yeah. Get fucked. -5 elemental rest.
Yeah,
no?
that one is like what is that, man? Like what?
Where is the negative here? Huh?
And the funny thing is, like, it doesn't even matter that much, but it's just like annoying. Like it's like it's made to like annoy you. That no, like what is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like again, Beastmaster. Yeah, it's just annoying, right? It's like why?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yeah, why are you pinching me? You know, it's not good.
yeah.
And yeah, this node, right? It's probably it's the sleeper most OP like node. I feel no the one that redirects 10% and gives 80% in companion all aspects.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. Again, we're gonna see it. You know, you guys know I made a video about the earthquake. Basically, the moment the patch notes drop, I was like, "Yep, this is the build." You know, very crazy discovery going on. And apparently, Snap and his group on softcore are he's gonna be playing earthquake. He's gonna be the DPS of the group. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see again Uber Aberroth getting one-shotted with some softcore setups and stuff. You know, full damage and stuff. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Tarek, you want to talk a bit about the leveling of these classes? You know, people are kind of eager to know, you know, how do I level minions? I want to play bear. Shall I start bear? What is your personal recommendation when it comes, you know, someone who wants to play Abomination, someone who wants to play a bear or Sabertooth, and what is your recommendation when it comes to leveling these classes?
So first of all, for Beastmaster, to be fair, I haven't really finished and decided on what to level with it. So it's still in the
still
in the
cooking?
kitchen.
Yeah.
It's still cooking. But for Necromancer, I think we are going with a minion army. Like I did multiple test runs and compare like different builds because I was going with Profane Oblation, which is a build that uses skeleton mages, where they explode the regular mages, the regular skeletons. Sorry. But I just after this run tested the full minion army, and the wraiths are just like crazy good. Like you can have a build where all of your minions kind of overwhelm the mobs on the screen. And also keep in mind that next patch, since you're gonna have like this sort of toggle in the top left corner of your screen, where you can decide your minion to be like aggressive or defensive, like a stance kind of. You're gonna put like them on aggressive, and they're just gonna clear the entire screen, right? So, and you can even, that's crazy about Wraith, you can even summon them like that. They have no range. You can summon them like if you have like a white screen, like literally on the edge of your screen. Like it's kind of crazy. Like you can place minions like ranged. Like it is insane.
Oh, I see. You can use them as like basically to aggro onto projectiles, you know, that you just send them into getting experience.
But it's not even
I
aggro
see.
because the race are doing the most damage in the build, so they are actually like killing stuff on their own, like just far away.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it
you
is-
actually get with the new, or what you're saying is basically that with the new aggressive mode, because they're not gonna instantly come back to you, they're gonna keep attacking.
Exactly, yeah.
You can drop them, you can keep on the go and focus on your objective and your path, and they're gonna just
Yeah.
be on their own, killing shit, giving you passive XP pretty much, no? Whereas before, their DPS would be wasted because the AI would be stupid, like being, oh, I don't want to attack, I want to go back to my master, right, kind of thing.
I think you're gonna play like more of a like you know, those simulation games where you simulate your army and stuff, whereas your character, you're just gonna move and everything is gonna die around you. Like whereas
Vampire
before you would
survivors.
move. Yeah, exactly. Whereas before you would move and all the minions would come back to you, and yeah, it would be a bit of a mess if you didn't know how to properly manage the minions.
Yeah.
Also, it's like giga easy to gear, right? You just
Yeah.
put some intelligence, minion damage. They're also buffing them, like leveling wise, minions are not super tanky compared to before, right? They're still the same tankiness for leveling, but as you're gonna progress, you're gonna have access to way more tankiness, be it in the tree. For example, in Necromancer, you have a lot more minion regen. There is a node that gives you flat minion regen and
Where
increased
is
minion
that?
regen, and so they bump up the flat minion regen, and they also gave you, I think it's at like 30 points in the passive tree of the Necromancer.
Effigies, no?
Yeah, whenever a minion dies, it heals like, I think it's another minion for 20% of its health.
All other minions, yeah.
All other minion, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's even better, right?
Yeah.
And then I think Primalist is also like getting a lot of buffs to the minions as well, like in the tree. So
Yeah.
I think overall that's just gonna feel way better than before, and you are gonna scale like super high very quickly, like very quickly. As soon as you get your setup, the problem with Necromancer, right, is the Dreadshade. So once you have your Dreadshade,
Yeah.
it's like the damage skyrocket, but before it was kind of meh before, and I think with the changes, it's gonna be like giga even before Dreadshade.
Yeah.
So,
And one thing to note actually about the minion army is that the minion army doesn't necessarily get nerfed by the Dreadshade change on Egoism, right? Because Egoism is the node on Dreadshade that would give you like a guaranteed crit for your single minion, right?
yeah,
And
so you wouldn't even play with that, right?
Yeah, exactly,
in
because minion
army,
armies don't use that. You don't even feel that nerf, right? And you can just focus on, I'll just have an army, they all do giga damage, who cares, right? Whereas
Exactly.
before, the Necro was super focused on, even from a barely, you know, you would just like get Skeleton Mage, make single Skeleton Mages, and literally level that way, because, you know, the guaranteed crit was just too strong, or with Golem or whatever, right? We've done it for a while.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
And
good.
also-
At least it's gonna feel like a Necro, right? The leveling, that's good.
There's one thing, there's one caveat with the changes is to Abomination. Now it consumes the minion, so you cannot have the Abomination plus the minion army. You kind of have to choose. So in the leveling guide, what I said is that if you want to use Abomination, just use it on bosses, because it's going to deal like way more damage than your minion army. But then if you want to clear like outside of, let's say, the timeline bosses, you just use your minion army and that's it, right?
So do you think, Tarek, there is a possibility which, like, when you're leveling, before you get Abomination, you just play a full army, and then what happens is when you unlock Abomination at level 50 or whatever it is, the points, then you're just gonna spec Abomination as a separate skill that you might just like, oh, I know I have a monolith boss, let me consume my army, kill the boss, and then just forget about Abomination and keep playing my army, kind of like a boss
Yeah.
mode kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's like
That
the
sounds
Giga
really
Minion
interesting.
for.
I didn't thought about that.
Yeah. I mean, before we were doing that, except we could like summon all the minions at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly.
Right. But yeah, Abomination is just too strong to give up, right?
Yeah,
It's like
too much free damage.
yeah.
And I guess since we're talking about minion powers and leveling them and their power and stuff, I guess Bina, I would ask you, because this is a passionate topic for you. Well, snapshotting. Of course, minions before needed snapshotting to be viable. You could not play them without snapshotting. They were impossible, right?
Unplayable.
Unplayable. Now they are. What's your prediction here? Were they unplayable? What's gonna happen?
No, but well, the thing is, okay. So basically, everything stays the same. But like the patch notes read that most instances of minion snapshotting have been bug fixed or like fixed, or in some cases, right? I think it's only there and worded in this way because they want to protect themselves in case something is not fixed. We don't know really exactly how it's fixed, right? We know, like, okay, seems like most cases of item, like equipment snapshotting is gone.
Yeah.
But does that mean that there's still some snapshotting going on? I mean, we're gonna have to test once the patch goes live. But I think it's good. I think it's good. No more snapshotting. And then the general buff to all minions with minion power and all these things. I think it's maybe a bit over exaggerated, because even if you just remove snapshotting, like, minions would have been sort of fine, right? Especially with the reworks that they did with Bear, with all the different minions that they are reworking their skill trees and whatnot. But essentially nothing changes. I think nothing changes. It's just they like, relative to like one another, they all stay in the same place and they just drop down a little bit, right? Because no more snapshotting.
Yeah. This is again. This is, I guess, an interesting topic that you're talking about, Bina, because we're talking. A lot of people have been talking, including us, about how this patch basically players got much power, right? But the thing is, like,
we're getting crazy power.
Yeah, there is this like philosophy that some people think, right, where they say, oh, because we have more power, more things are gonna be viable, right? But you gotta realize that if everything is getting power. Let's just say everything is getting 100% more power, right? Well, if you had a build that was like a 5 power, now it's a 10. But if you had a build that was 100, now it's a 200. So the difference in power actually increased instead of decreased.
It's gonna be the same thing. It's like,
yeah,
it's not good. Okay, maybe more things are going to be viable to play for fun. I guess.
Yeah.
But. Are you gonna play the build that, are you gonna grab the Lamborghini, or are you gonna grab the Toyota Corolla? Like, it's it gets you the point from point A to point B, but you're not you're not gonna race anyone with that. You're not gonna blast with that. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like, it's okay. It's an okay ride. You can drive it, but it won't get you any excitement, or like, I don't know. I feel like the game is getting faster and faster, and then you're killing bosses, like you're one-shotting everything, and the good builds are just gonna be better.
Yeah.
But
and the thing is, another thing about this is that, keep this in mind: the builds that have more power, like 10% of like 50 million. Is way more like is way more like actual raw damage than like 10% of 10 million, right? One is getting 1 million and the other one is getting 5 million. So you're getting like the small buff if it's giving you half the power, half the actual DPS of like the worst build. So it's the rich getting richer, and it's the same thing.
The rich get richer, bro. Like, gotta burn, eat the rich, bro. Like, I mean, it's gonna be pretty. And again, if you are someone who doesn't care about the meta, you just wanna play solo. You don't care about the economy. You don't care about being efficient. You don't, you're playing for chill. Your aspirations are just to have fun, and that's it. you know, Last Epoch is still really good at this. But again, you know, we the first time they released things like Uber Aberroth, like 100 Corruption, like Harbingers, like the some of the actual core mechanisms of progression, like the Fated Brick, that thingy, right? Like the like the Echo, that you fight all the Harbingers at 500 Corruption. There's gonna be builds that literally just sit there, they just one shot all of it. And then there's gonna be builds that have like a fucking gladiator course of 20 minutes of like dodging and fighting and getting one-shotted over and over to get their Weaver tree passives, right? So, I mean, yeah, this patch probably gonna be. I think we can all agree it's gonna be the most unbalanced patch in the history of Last Epoch. What do you guys think?
Even more than 1.0, you think? Like with the torment, whatever.
I think so. I think so.
word.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, on damage maybe, yeah.
On
I guess
damage,
it makes
yes.
sense. Yeah.
Because we also
Probably not on
didn't have
defense,
we
no.
didn't have the tools that we had back then. Like we didn't
I mean,
have imprints. You know, we didn't have this. Like we have a lot of power. You know.
But you know what I noticed, Lizard, is that the way they balance this game is that they give us like a lot of power creep each patch, and they buff the minion, like the mobs every time, and they create new content that is harder and harder. They're never gonna like bring down the power.
Exactly, and that's the thing. That going back to the original question we were talking with Bina, because I don't know, like people were saying last patch, oh, the patch is so easy, blah blah blah, right? Yeah, I mean you followed Paladin Maxroll build leveling, you know. Of course it was easy. But I'm telling you, if you go into the next patch, I guarantee you these fucking beasts, you know, if you're playing a weak build, you're gonna go into Monolith, you're gonna empower a build 2 times, and it's gonna fucking one-shot you. Mark my words, you know? Because that's how it always this thing. Look at you find a possessed enemy in the campaign, and he's harder than the Act boss, brother, you know? Like, literally.
Don't
like,
listen to Lizard. Lizard every patch says, guys, is it me or the campaign just got way harder?
And I'm right. I'm correct.
What if Lizard got worse?
Oh
no.
shit!
Oh,
I watched
shit.
the accusation.
Guys, this enemy just one-shotted me. What? This never happened before.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't know.
Oh no.
But let's Derek, what do you think? You, as a professional speedrunner, gamer, god, is the campaign harder, yay or nay?
The side, the side stuff that you do in the campaign is getting harder and harder, yeah. And also they introduced the champion, which are completely busted. Like there are very few builds that can like kill them giga early. So I don't know why they like the way they balance the new content every time they implement it in the campaign. I'm talking about the early like area levels. It's always giga busted. Like you spend 20 minutes killing one mob for like what 3 shards. It's like what the fuck am I doing? Yeah, so I don't know. To me, it feels like it's getting harder and harder and harder, and especially the early echo, the early melodies. You know, when you stop at chapter 5, I predict in 3 seasons there are probably going to be like two builds in the entire game that will probably be able to go early if you like rush.
Yeah.
Right. If you overlevel, of course, a lot of builds can, but. Like for someone like me,
I think that's okay though. I think that's kind of okay. Like
yeah, but it kind of reflects the imbalance of the early game, right? Because they don't really care about that, right? It's just that you have some OP builds, and over time, compared to the content, they're getting less and less OP.
But
the builds that are bad are getting way worse over time.
But it is interesting that it's just bound to happen, right? It's like a prophecy that is written. It's like a slow car crash, and we're just watching it happen. Like, you know, Last Epoch was this game where everyone was like, hey, don't worry, go in, don't look at anything, game is easy, blah, blah, blah. And don't get me wrong, if you play any game and you take 20 hours to do the campaign, PoE2 included, it's going to be fine, you know, if you take 20 hours to do it the first time. But the thing is, like in LE, people are clearing the campaign in under 2 hours now. You know, they're going into Monolith at level 40. And they can actually do it while other builds just can't, and they keep introducing harder and harder monsters. They keep making everything higher and higher area level, and you know, eventually the list of builds that are able to go through that threshold just goes down because you don't.
I mean,
you don't,
it's
you
also
know?
the fact that the balance of the early progression is like completely out of space, out of place.
Yeah.
Like for example, they keep reworking like skills and stuff. If you look at the Primalist, they reworked like they even like completely scrapped some skills when they reworked, Gathering Storm. They introduced and Temper Strike, and those two you would not ever go into early monos and deal damage with those, right? They deal ZDPS, right?
Yeah, they're support
So-
skills almost. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just like if you're a blaster over time, you're not gonna be able to blast like you used to because it's gonna be like too hard, right? You're
Yeah.
gonna be able to get in like Act 7, Act 6, maybe.
Yeah, and especially now that there's no CT and there's not like, there's basically no time for creators and other people to actually go and, hey, let's create alternative paths for people and blah blah blah. Like, it's also, I feel like people are gonna be pushed more and more and more into guides instead of the opposite. Actually, it's kind of what
Because what you were saying is that everybody is saying like the campaign is too easy, but nobody's talking about the point of view of actually speedrunning, like or not even speedrunning, but just
or
rushing
just
the
like
campaign,
playing
right?
like meta.
You're not a new player. You already did like the campaign 20 times.
Yeah.
You know how to level up a particular build. Then you're just gonna skip at chapter 5 or maybe a bit after, right?
Yeah.
But it's gonna be like a worse experience over time, right? Because they.
Yeah, I was in
keep buffing
Rack's
that.
chat these days, and he's been practicing leveling Primalist, right?
Yeah.
And his first build, he basically went from one planner that you sent him, and he didn't really, he did the classic big streamer thing where you send him the planner, but they don't really look at it, right? They're kind of like following it, and let's just say he got fucked, okay? And then he had like, okay, let's slow down, read the planner, blah blah blah, and he was like saying, what the fuck, Primalist, EHG, what is this bullshit? He was actually molding hard, which is understandable. That's a big thing that people say, right? Primalist early game, blah blah, like horrible, right?
And then it's not that bad. It's good.
Yeah, it's not that bad if you do the one thing that is good, right? And if you're a new player and you don't choose to be like a shaman that does the storm totem and that picks the blizzard no and that buffs it with this and that, if you don't do these things, or you do crows, those are basically, the experience is, especially if you're used to, your first character was like a blade dancer, right? And you just did puncture for the entire campaign, it's gonna be quite a shock for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, and now today, after a couple of days of practicing, he just did like a 2-hour run, on his Primalist, like following the Storm Totem thing. So that is basically what we're talking about here, like, yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty frustrating for some people going in too early with some skills, and again, I think, as we were talking about Flay early, it's gonna be like that, right?
Yeah.
People are gonna go into Flay, they're gonna put the mana minions, and they're gonna like they're gonna be like, what?
Yeah, I can't wait to see people do like harvest leveling or something, like, oh, I'm gonna play harvest or Flay. And,
Dude, I don't want to worry you. I don't want to warn you guys too much, but Woody Joe made a harvest leveling build, and I think he's starting harvest. So that's gonna be absolute cinema,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can already see it, like, I'm gonna play harvest and then I go Flay when I unlock it, and it's gonna be great, and dual wielding, and I'm going Chica Chat gaming, and then it's just like, okay, never mind, I don't have any damage and I'm dying, and
you're gonna go in with Monolith with harvest. You're gonna hit a champion with triple possess mods or whatever the fuck, and you're gonna feel that you're playing minions and you are the minion, and you're gonna be looking for your summoner, like, where is it?
Yeah.
Like, it's yeah. No comments, I guess. We'll see. Maybe we're completely wrong and clueless. We'll see. Okay. I guess shall we I think this is pretty much the new things. Like, we know the Primalist Beastmaster is really good. We know Acolyte leveling early army should be not much better with these new nodes. And like the resummon, the regen, like the healing your minions, the flat crit, right? That should be much better than before. That's good. We know Beastmaster is gonna pop the fuck off with the main minions basically late game, especially if you abuse aspect of the shark. And we know that Flay is gonna be very fun, but kind of sus and kind of baity, But one thing that I think is I would say that the thing that we as content creators can control less, because they're the most kind of like wild cards of the patch, it's probably the items, no? I don't know if you guys want to talk about. We should probably talk a bit about items. I don't know what's the vibe here.
Just before we go in depth in the items and talk about like the good one, the bad ones, I feel like there are certain items, like just reading them, you don't really know exactly how they're gonna work, right? They could be bait or they could be giga. I think that's the main thing for me. Like for example, the amulet that gives you giga crit, is it gonna care about like the crit from the skills or like conditional crit, like Shadow Dagger, for example, or is it just like the global crit chance, or like?
Yeah, and this is the problem. We see this, right? If there was a CT that was open, I'm not saying it should come back. I'm just saying you would be able to go in, test that it works. If it doesn't work, you could report it to AG. Hey, this is not working, and you would be able to kind of sell it, right, for like viewers and stuff. But now I feel like because of possible bugs or things not working and stuff, you're gonna create this ecosystem similar to PoE, especially where if you go into something that is untested, you need to be mentally ready of, I might equip this item and it might straight up not work, right? And that's also kind of like it's kind of risky, especially if you want to play MG, if you want to make money fast, if you have aspirations of racing, or if you're playing, I don't know, solo and want to break your character and have to start again, right, or whatever. So
yeah, I think you just played a safe option.
Yeah,
right?
as a first character,
tried and tested and good build. Basically.
Or at least you have a plan B, right? Like a quick, like
yeah.
I
think that's what they do on PoE, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like most of the people, I mean, there are certain people that when they try new stuff, they say it might be bait. Please be advised that if you follow my build, it could break, right?
But I think one thing EG did good this patch is a lot of the primordials are quite interesting. I feel, and they enable you to think a bit more, not outside the box, but like it's not like Tarek said, it's not super obvious. Like, what are you gonna do with this? There's like many options, right? We can think of the spear that increased like that. I mean, the spear that you made a video on, Liz, which increases per like the magic items that you have, but it also works with exalted and whatnot. That's another topic, but or there's a body armor, and there's also a relic that increases the effect of some of your idols. That can be, maybe giga on some builds, but you need to kind of like think about what are you going to be using these idols for, and like, what is this going to give you? Like a lot of these items have mechanics around them that makes you go and look through what is already in the game, and how can you, kind of like they act as a catalyst to basically make your build giga, right? So yeah, I think they made a really good job on that. A lot of them are not super obvious, so you'll have to think. And thinking in a video game is, in an ARPG where you're making build is quite nice. At least, for us, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's quite a bit of like variety to the building. Like, especially you can only have one of them, right? So, and then there's the T8 affix as well. So sometimes it's like, okay, you have this primordial already on the planner, and then you look at the T8 affix and you're like, holy, this is way better than the primordial unique. So it's actually, I quite like them for sure. They're nice to have. And like you said, the items are like well made, most of them.
I like that you can target farm them. It's so good.
Yeah, that is also something to take into account when you're making a guide, right? The fact that now you have a slot that you can use this new resource straight into that thing that you're normally, the fact that you can save a slot where, all my bones are getting into that slot, so now I can use my prophecies on something else, and I'm kind of like gonna ignore my helmet until I have enough bones to buy my frog helmet or whatever the fuck, right? So
from a progression like point of view, it's really good because you can plan between different sources of like acquisition of gear, and then have like not spend basically your favor on every piece of gear. Like you have this piece of gear that comes from dungeon, this piece of gear that comes from the new mechanic like the Rift Beast. This one is like COF. This one is like, I don't know, use your Rune of Ascendance on it because it's really easy to get.
And it should
Kind of
it should
thing.
be also, now when talking about baiting and progression and these things on these items, most of them are purchase, but some are not, right?
Oh, true.
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
example, I've seen a lot of hype around the bleed gloves. I think everyone likes those gloves. They look absolutely. I think those are just gonna be popular because bleed pops, chaining, and shit. It's gonna be amazing, right? But how rare are they? Who knows? You know, like, is it a 10% drop chance from a beast that is 7 out of 7 and it has like at least 3 bleed modifiers, otherwise it can't even drop? Because if that's the case, I don't know. You know, like maybe just merchant skills it, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting to see how this develops from just like a player standpoint, no? To see where do these fit. Are these meant to be pretty normal Aberoth? Are you meant to be able to buy them post? Is this something that is supposed to empower you towards Uber Aberoth, right? Where in the progression are these items fitting? Should we expect these items before red rings, after red rings? Like, what are we talking about here? So that's my biggest question, actually.
There's also the amulet, Liz. The guaranteed
Oh yeah, the
one.
broken amulet.
This one is really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, in the patch notes, they said that whenever you end a lineage, so whenever you evolve the beast, and at the end you kill the final evolution, so that's when you end the lineage, from what I understood.
Yep.
It's gonna drop the amulet with the beast that
It's
you
not
killed
primordial,
inside,
for the hell.
and it's not even primordial. Yeah.
Yeah. Not even primordial. It's just a basic.
I don't know if
Evolutions
it's
end.
guaranteed, but they said that whenever you kill the beast, it's gonna drop. So to me, it feels like it's guaranteed. Like, but it's insane, right? Because you're gonna be able to also do the content, the Reef Beast, inside the campaign, and the amulet is level requirement of 11. So imagine just for a moment, you go in the campaign, you struggle a bit for some reason, or because you play melee Lich, right? And then you're like, what can I do to improve my build? Then you go back, you do the Reef Beast a few times, like the new mechanic, and you drop the amulet, and then all of a sudden you have like what, 5 to 15% all res, +1 to +2 to all skills. That's kind of insane, no?
This item is like nihilis for everyone, you know. K Combrade, you know. Like you get a nihilis, you get a
Yeah, I
nihilis.
mean,
you know?
depends on the build. Like quite often on some builds, it's just better than Nihilist. Actually, it's less RNG and it has even attributes on it. So it depends on the build. Like, do you need frenzy? Do you need movement? Not the movement speed. I mean mana regen, because you don't get mana regen on this one. So
Then if you play Primalist, you get this 100%. Like for the companions, it's gonna be crazy.
50 LPL also. So pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Yep, this one's gonna be fun. You know. And great item. Like, what can I say? It's.
I mean, yeah. The things like I don't know if the beast is gonna do anything. Maybe it's a merc. Like merc in LE.
Yeah, I've done a bit of data
damage,
mining, and apparently there's different types of beasts this can pop, and they have different abilities. And I think there's one ability that does frailty and support things and shred and stuff. So who knows?
I've looked at all of them like just before the podcast on Tongue Labs, because I was thinking of using this for Ballista possibly. There's like almost nothing that is useful. There's like one that can shred armor, one that can shock, and like I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's gonna be any crazy support.
Okay. I mean, you know, getting free shock on your Werber build, you know, that who knows, whatever, or on your early game build, it can be nice, you know. It's definitely something, but we'll see, you know. And how often is this minion gonna spawn? Is he just wanna be one of those minions that just spawns non-stop? Can you use it on sacrifice builds, on infernal shape builds, to literally just be like boom, 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 and just use it as a, I don't know. We'll see, you know. I was thinking of.
How powerful is it gonna be? You know, how powerful.
Yeah.
You know,
I was thinking that maybe we should go by item. We can start on helmet, and we can just kind of go through them. There's like 20, so maybe we can just go through them if you guys want. Yep. That sounds good.
Yeah.
So I let you talk a bit about this too, because I know they're kind of your favorites, Volka. So you want to
Yeah,
talk about?
so the mask, gives you basically stun immunity and many other things, gives you reduced crit. That one is also threshold, entrance threshold. That one is pretty nice on Acolyte, because you like threshold and all those things. It's pretty hard to get crit avoidance quite often. So that one is just like a generic. It works for every build, of course, you know. I think if this item was released like in I don't know 3 years ago, people would have been like going crazy, like, oh, stun immunity, holy arena gaming, I'm gonna be stun immune. No, nobody cares. You just want damage.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a good item for sure. But like, are you gonna use your primordial for not damage? That's the thing, right?
Nobody cares.
Yeah, but the frenzy helmet is the exact opposite, right? So it's insane damage you get with the frenzy helmet. And this one is pretty cool. Gives you mana on hit instead of mana regen. So it disables your mana regen, but you get mana on hit. And I think this one is going to enable some builds that you couldn't play before because of the mana gain. So that's going to need quite a bit of like cooking and testing when the patch is live, because it's kind of hard to estimate right now. So.
I basically seen two types of theorycraft about this item. The one that kind of like we've been doing, I would say, as a branch, which is more like you don't really have mana issues, or your mana sustain is not super complicated. So you take this item because you don't really have a downside, and it's just giga damage, basically, right? Especially builds that scale really heavily, like through cast speed. Like, for example, the Profane Veil Warlock, right? Gets like a huge boost from this. And I mean, that build literally doesn't really use mana at all, so you're chilling, right? And builds that don't really care about the downsides. And then you have the other side of the builds, which is like, I have a build that is basically unplayable because of so mana cost, you know. Let's stack mana regen to the moon so I can generate more mana that way, right? Which is more on like the overcook kind of situation, but it's what Bulk is saying. It could potentially enable some pretty crazy things, no? Vina, you were saying, sorry?
For mana, it gets because Amarity was talking to me on my stream like a little bit earlier today, and then like it really enables you to scale mana, because he's using this on the new Tornado Shaman, right?
Yeah.
And it lets you scale mana regen in a way that makes you benefit from like get even more mana regen, sort of, without having the actual regen, but you get way more. It's basically a scalar of mana regen, right? So you'll get more. I think it's somewhere around 100% increased mana regen. You start getting more benefits from if you would just have mana regen by itself.
I saw his graph, right? He made a curve where it starts being super positive. And
So
you're getting HP on top of it,
crazy
you know?
levels.
HP on top of it is not a joke. But I must say that this item, you really have to consider if your build, because if you calculate your mana regen, assuming you're always hitting every 2 seconds, you know, the 4 procs, you need to play a build like Tornado, where Tornado, because it has like the range of 3 screens, you know, basically you're for sure gonna be proccing this no matter what, right? But if you try to play something again like something like Avalanche or something like a slam build or whatever, you know, like, okay, you go in, you proc Earthquake, right, expecting to get the mana back through this item, and then your first explosion of Earthquake already killed the shit. So now, you know, oh, now I gotta walk to the next pack, and by the time you walk there, like the 2 seconds have passed, and you're already in the other proc, right? And you didn't generate mana back then. So you gotta really take into account, like, okay, am I actually able to generate mana consistently with this? And there, you know, am I taking into account the possible downside, especially when doing tombs, you know, and things like this. Absolute amazing item, no? As a concept, I really like it. I really like both of these. You know.
Yeah, I also really like the art. Like it looks good on the planner. You know, it's I don't know, it looks nice. You know.
The Volka rating of items. How badass are they?
Yeah.
You know?
How gigachat is your planner? I mean, if you check the Rive planner, for example, it's pretty gigachat with that item.
Okay, let's take a look at rate this gigachat from 1 to 10. Rive,
especially aspirational, I guess, but
holy giga! I mean, this could be more giga if it didn't have minion damage.
I mean, true, but it's a good stat stick, you know. So.
Look at
True,
this. You're
true.
wearing fucking skin boots. You know, fucking.
Yeah, those are funny. Those are on every melee build. Like you always use them. Like look at the boots. They give you attack speed, 40% movement speed, 50% more melee damage to high health, and they're like 49 LP, and they're like common as fuck. Like what
Yep.
is that?
Yep.
So yeah, those are on like Warpath erasings, like on every melee build.
Every melee build, pretty much. Yeah. So good. And
Yeah,
they give you a minion. Just saying, you're playing minions no matter what.
True.
Oh,
You can't escape
fuck,
the
man.
minions, yeah.
Fuck.
That is true. That is true, actually.
All right. Yeah, really cool overall. And well, I guess this one is gonna be interesting. Frog build. There's a lot of hype, I guess, around this item. Thoughts, Bina?
Yes. Sorry, I was looking at something else. Which one?
Frog item. Are you aware of this item? Have you seen a bit the hype of this? Are you aware of it? This or
No, not that much. No, what are people so excited about?
Basically, there is this like item that summons frog up to your one less than your total companion limit, right? And also, Bina, they're saying that your microphone is like far away or something. So
Okay.
go talk to
Is
your
it better?
microphone. Yes, thank you. And basically, because they are not companions, right? So they don't get aspects, they don't have a skill tree, all that. But they do get damage multiplier for area for minions, which is a new modifier on amulet and gloves. You get up to 39% on tier 7. And it comes with hybrid minion damage, up to 120% at tier 7, if I recall correctly. It's a pretty good fucking affix. And they also have basically crazy attribute scaling. They get like 4 crit multi per dexterity and penetration.
Wait, they scale off of an area? Huh?
Yeah, basically area of effect gives them more damage at a pretty good ratio. I think it's 1-4 or 1-, I think
1-3.
1-3.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, a lot of people are super excited about this build because you're gonna have a shit ton of rocks and they should scale decently at least, right?
I got numbers from Misha. She theorycrafted.
Yeah.
She said 50 million DPS. Or 50 million
Holy.
damage. 50 million
On
DPS.
Endgame planner? That's good. Holy.
But again,
but-
like when Earthquake is doing a single crit of Earthquake is gonna do on Endgame gear, yeah, 150 first explosion million, 180 second explosion million, 200 million third explosion on a one Earthquake.
Yep.
I mean, is this build gonna be good? Yes. They have 0 HP scaling, right? Pretty much, they get HP per level, and that's it, right? I think it's gonna be the kind of build that you just play for the fantasy. At 300 corruption is gonna be pretty cozy, maybe 500-ish. And the moment you jump into a boss that does an AOE attack, they're gonna all die, and then they're gonna respawn, and then they're gonna get hit again. And yeah, I think it's gonna be fun, but I think it's people are overhyping this one, especially compared to what a real companion and a real minion can do. But it's fun. It's good to have variety.
But at
right?
least it's not like dog shit, right?
No, it's not. It's not dog shit. No, it's not dog shit.
Like how would you rate it, like in terms of tier?
I would say it's like gonna be like squirrels, basically. So it's gonna feel like that.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be less. They're gonna have less attack speed because they don't really have attack speed scaling, right? You can build attack speed, but you're not really, because again they don't get aspect of the shark and blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're basically gonna hit harder, but they're gonna hit slower. It's gonna be like, imagine if like, how like when you play wolves and you go squirrels, you have more of them, but they're like, they don't hit as hard, but they hit faster, like they're like on crack. This is gonna be the opposite. This is gonna be like these guys are gonna be on like one of these I don't know, like on Valium or something, they're gonna be like blom, puh, blom, puh, blom, 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 puh. They're gonna be more like shock troops, like heavy arm, like heavy duty bazooka tonks, pretty much.
I've seen some clips of you, Lizard. Can you
I
comment
don't know
on
what you're
those?
talking about. I don't know. I didn't.
Holy.
Okay. I don't want to talk about it. I don't know what happened yesterday. I was drunk. Okay. 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 Anyone wants to say something about the frogs, or it's kind of like no one really has an opinion yet?
Yeah. Not really.
Not really.
I don't know. I haven't looked at crows that much. Maybe. I mean, I see here in chat. Maybe it's gonna be used for crows, but I'm gonna have to take a look at.
Use it
crows have
for
been
the
nerfed quite
plus
heavily.
companion, but not for the.
Yeah, plus the companions. But then again, you got Arthur's Legacy, and I don't know. The thing is, you're gonna lose the plus skills, which is probably gonna feel bad. And crows have been nerfed, so I don't want to lose too much damage.
Yeah, from Arthur's, no? Yeah. All right. Next item slot. Giga. Chess piece. I mean, shall we start with
People are excited for the reflect stuff.
I'm
yeah,
cooking.
people
I'm
seem very
writing it right
excited.
now. I'm writing it right now. It's
Holy.
gonna be up.
Do you think it's gonna be insane
How
or?
much damage?
I think
much
it's gonna
damage?
be insane. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Like-
so
like
with the
like S tier?
endgame planner that I'm having, I guess I can share the planner. Oh,
Yeah.
1 second.
Show it.
Because damage reflected is not like mitigated by area level.
Yeah,
of
that's
DR.
kind of like the point.
yeah.
So let me find the planner, I guess. I have it. Let me find it. Reflex Shaman. Okay, so with the planner that I'm showing on screen, so you know, one like one tier 7 red rings, the classic kind of vibe, but you know, actually it's slightly different. I have to save stuff. We're gonna be using. You're gonna get a lot of ward and stuff. So with this, and with the idols and stuff, right? So with like a single tier 7 of damage, which is basically attunement, you should be able to do with this build, as long as you're spamming the Spriggan Form Thorn Shield, you're gonna be able to do like around 300,000 base reflect, right? And remember, that's if you get hit, right? Which means with this chess piece, which you do 400% more damage and you hit twice, you should be able to be doing 2 million true damage DPS, because it ignores area level. So you're gonna be ticking every half a second. You're not gonna be ticking because you're actually not gonna see damage numbers. But Aberoth is gonna lose 1 million HP per half a second, basically, with this build, with this planner.
It's like 2 to 3 minutes Uber Aberoth, basically.
Yes. I think you're with this starting gear. I think you're gonna be able to basically standing still, and you probably have to get rid of the actual big explosion, but everything else you're gonna be chilling, because again you're casting a Terra's Blessing and all this bullshit, right? You're gonna be tanky as fuck. My suspicion is like you're gonna go into 1k corruption. You're gonna look at a boss for like 3 seconds, and he's gonna be dead, pretty much.
Yeah, the more I like thought about it, like was listening to you, like it's like more and more stupid it is. It seems like in a good way, but you know, like it's like kind of crazy.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy.
Dude, you have perma
and again,
cleanse.
you're gonna have
Holy
perma
shit.
cleanse because Terra's thingy. You're gonna have perma healing. You're gonna have perma dodge and perma armor because of Maelstrom. If you actually stand still with these Maelstorms, I calculated my 4,700 life build gets 5,200 endurance threshold. So how does Reflect kill lizards? Because you don't have to. You have this new chest like that. Doesn't work on lizards. So it's gonna be interesting how to kill lizards. I mean, you have Maelstorms going on, and you're gonna have a lot of them. And Thorn Shield itself does damage to kill the lizards. Because keep in mind that lizards have like a layer of damage reduction that fades over time. So you can actually kill lizards basically with auto attacks if they're lived for long enough. So keep that in mind. And yeah, this build is gonna be stupid. And I've seen a lot of people kind of think about this, like going very, very, very hard into the physical resistance stacking because of this note. The 17 damage reflected to attackers per 10% physical resistance, but you actually have so much fucking reflect damage from the shield and from the thorn shield that is not worth it at all. Like, like you have already thousands and thousands of reflect. So yeah, you just go full attunement basically. And a lot of your you have 200 attunement, right? So with your maelstorms, which scales from attunement, and they're gonna have 800% increased damage to begin with, and your binds are gonna hit hard, and you also have your companions giving you support, and yeah, this is gonna be a true one bottom build pretty much. Yeah, I expect this to be pretty stupid. That's why I'm doing it. Obviously, if I thought it was bad, I wouldn't be writing it. But yeah, this one is gonna be definitely build of builds. People are asking in chat if you can start at this build, and the answer would be no. I mean, kind of, but you definitely don't want to do it because
before
without
you get the body armor, right?
Yeah, without the body,
won't
without the
reflect.
chest piece, you basically don't have boss single target pretty much. I mean, you can play it. I've seen Rory and stuff in chat has played it before, but you probably just wanna play something. Play tornado. You're a shaman. Just play tornado. Get the chest piece, which shouldn't be too hard to get, and then just you can switch. You're gonna need the idols too, ideally, etc.
Because keep in mind, if you don't have the chest, like the enemies have to hit you in order for you to deal damage. So
And
imagine
again,
leveling up with that, like.
yeah,
oh my God.
and remember, peak of the mountain. If you're standing still, you get like the endurance. But if you're not standing still, then you have 70% dodge. So no matter what, you're moving or you're not moving, giga basically, right? Giga. Absolutely crazy build, and we'll see how the rage sustain feels. Because if you're standing still, you probably don't need these 2 items. We'll see. I have to test this properly and see how the reflect works, and then I'll update accordingly. But yeah, this build should be absolutely retarded, pretty much. Okay. Wings of Discord. I think that's the item I've seen probably Discord and Reddit like the most. This seems to be thoughts.
And you think it's because of the name, Wings of Discord, Monka? Yeah.
Oh shit! Wait a minute.
Oh no.
Are you?
I mean, it's a pretty cool item also. Not just the name, but
I mean, it looks pretty sick.
Wings of Reddit. Wings of Reddit.
Wings of Reddit. Next item. It gives you enrage. Holy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God.
War. Are you wearing war? I mean, I think potentially, basically the most interesting stat in this item, obviously the dodge is kind of nice. And I think the most interesting stat in the item is the basically doubles the effect of each unique you have that is like a different shape, right? So you can wear a 1x4 and a 1x3 and a 4 and a 2x2 and a 1x2 and a 1x2 but the other way, 2x1. And it does have a lot of potential, especially for classes that benefit from the other stuff. Having the crit chance, having the dodge rating. I like it a lot for Rogue, personally. I like it a lot for Rogue. Especially because the idols of Rogue tend to be a bit eclectic, to say the least, right? With the shadow creation and the shadow daggers and the HPs and the multi-shots and they're quite eclectic, the idols. Because again, Rogue idols are not that important, Falconeer, for example, I could see them too. Ballista, maybe.
Yeah, this probably gonna give you like dodge cap alone, right? With the rogue passive tree. Like.
Yeah. So again, I haven't really looked at my Blade Dancers yet and stuff, but I'm gonna be taking a look at it and see if it fits, because it looks interesting, to say the least. Definitely interesting. But again,
Cyborg was telling me he was gonna use it on Shadow Strike.
Yeah, I mean, again, what idols do you use on Shatter Strike? Normally, like fucking mana 1x3s or like elemental damage 1x4s. Like, it's not like you have great idols on that build, so might as well do something interesting, right? And just benefit from all the other stats. But again, I haven't used it yet on one of my builds just because there was a clearly superior option. I've been mainly doing minion planners, so again, for minions, you have such strong options for their primordial that this one kind of like, you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think this potentially meta item, I would say, just not generic to a specific build, but more of like a, you know, null portento situation where you have wings of discord situation. Discordo.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's
we'll-
gonna be
we'll see.
niche, a little bit more niche than way more niche than null portent. I think it's gonna be because this will require to have like a idle setup that will benefit greatly from it, right? But the nice thing is that, you know, it's not only like your regular idle stats. It's like this will also boost your enchantments on your idols.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they've buffed enchantments this patch. We don't know exactly how much, but apparently we're getting, you know, better enchants and the ability to craft idols. So we should be getting way better idols. So maybe.
Yeah, I could see builds that can get the enchant they want on different shapes. So they're actually not trying to buff that much the core idol, but the enchant itself, right?
Yeah.
And get crazy that way. Yeah, that's interesting. Very, very cool. They're saying in chat that,
This
for
is
example,
one of those items that requires you to think, you know, like, you know, you can't just, oh, this is very obvious, use this with this, boom. And you know, like this is an item that is not EAG didn't make the build for you. You're gonna have to take this item and then make your build, which is, I think, really great for you know, like theory crafting and build making and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like thinking a little bit. Yeah.
It looks cool, no? I would say on the Volca scale, this item kind of giga, no?
Yeah, that one actually. Yeah, you are correct. You are correct. Actually, many of these items have pretty good art. So.
Oh shit! Well, they're
Giga.
primordial, right? You can only
True,
look
true.
cool with one item, you know. So choose wisely.
True.
And then you can be a chicken.
Other thoughts
you
are
know?
bad.
Then you can be a chicken also. Okay, Architects of Astral Blood. Actually, another kind of giga, no? Item. I think it's interesting. Thoughts?
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be like a easy like plaster item to like, okay, I need some survivability, boom, I just equip this and you have
Exactly.
some,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like it's
I don't know if it's
not gonna-
that easy because of the ward limit. You still need to build HP to actually get some nice ward. Depends on the build, of course, you know.
I really like it on Necro, basically, because on Necro, a lot of the times you don't have a lot of ward, like sustain, right? But you do have access to a lot of fucking HP on Necro.
Yeah.
Because you stack Vitality, you have HP idols, and, you know, how do you sustain ward on a Necro normally? Well, you're either spamming zombies or what the fuck do you do, you know? Like, so I think this, to me, just sounds really good for that. Like, on something like, again, you're playing raids or something like that where there's not a clear primordial that you could use and you're going low life anyway, might as well just wear it, you know. It definitely seems it will definitely allow you to, hey, I want to be low life with some builds with a single item, boom, you know, for sure. And again, the maximum health thingy, yeah, I mean, if you have 5k health, are you going past 15k ward anyway, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, then it's fine, but let's
Yeah.
say you want to use it on something like a 2k HP
No,
warlock
hell
or
no,
something. Like,
hell no.
you're like, I'm just gonna use this item. It's not.
Oh,
gonna
hell
work
no,
like
hell
that,
no.
right? So,
Hell no.
yeah.
But yeah, Rogue can get quite a bit of HP too, you know, and maybe you go for this and
Yeah.
on something like a low life Blade Dancer, stuff like that. Because again, what chess piece on Rogue is, you know, I don't know. It looks good for sure.
Yeah.
You know, it looks good for sure. I like it, and all attributes for red rings, you know, on something like Rogue, that they're pretty hard to get because you're not really stacking dexterity normally when you play Blade Dancer, right? Because you on Cascade and stuff like that is actually you're using all of the items that give you plus attributes, and I don't know. I think this has, yeah, it's good item, no? And again, I don't know if we rate it as cool as this item, because, you know, I don't know.
I mean, it's not as cool, yeah, but it doesn't look bad, but yeah.
Unless you're a furry, I guess, then it's like giga, you know.
You're like a fire chicken. Is that the play?
Monk.
Yeah.
I
A
like this item as well for blasting, right?
Feathered
Just-
prince, you know. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to say the least. Want to say something else about chess piece maybe before we move, or not really?
Yeah, we can move. Move.
Yep.
Are you, Vina? Are you in a rush?
I mean, Bina has to crunch like
Yeah, I
10
have
million builds.
I'm going
and,
slow in purpose just to see him lose his mind
Oh,
tonight.
yeah.
You know.
I have so many builds to cook. Holy.
All right. Well, offhands. Thoughts?
I mean, the shield is like I actually forgot the shield is there. Like it seems very meme. because I mean, it would be good just for like strength and +4, but like, are you gonna use your primordial for this?
Yeah.
The vengeance proc is like whatever, and the block chance. I mean, sure, I guess you can cap your block. I guess like that, like reposting, you get block chance. Sure.
Yeah. It
But
does.
seems bad.
It does seem like a kind of item that it does. It's not really providing something you couldn't do on a build that wants to use this. So why use it, right? Kind of like it's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was thinking about using it for progression on Judgment, but what other like primordial would you use on Judgment?
I mean, things like you can just use the normal shield for damage.
Oh, the conversion item is
right-
fucking broken on Judgment. We'll get there, I guess.
Yeah, use the amulet on endgame. Yeah, but like, I guess you can get early game. You can get the Riot's Light. The fire shield. That's pretty nice for just damage early game. But I mean, this would be okay if you happen to. But like, are you gonna get this early? Like, just because you have to buy it, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the amulet is crazy for Judgment.
Definitely niche. Maybe if there's ever like a mechanic where like if you are ready to repost, or every time you repost, or like something repost related, maybe suddenly this item pops the fuck off and suddenly it's the perfect fit for this build, that this repost scaling or something. But yeah, it does look kind of niche, at the moment. Kind of niche.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And it's a shield, so again, it's giving you, it's like for minions, but you can't really get minion damage on your suffix. So also it's like, you're losing a lot. So, and then Bones of the Ancestral Pack Catalyst, which is
That looks
basically
kind of interesting.
Yeah, this one definitely has potential, but it's gonna be
like the first time I read that item, I think I was like, okay, so you gain a stack of ancestral pack. When you gain a stack, you gain ward equal to your endurance threshold, right? A certain percentage. Well, I mean, some builds get a lot of endurance threshold. And so if you get that per every second, maybe you get I don't know, 4k ward per second, 5k ward. Like I mean, with the mountain boots,
exactly.
like that, just you stand still, you get you're basically immortal. No, like just like immortal.
I'm kind of thinking that, right? Like if you play something like, again, like a last patch, like the Tornado Shaman with the boots, and then suddenly you're hitting like super easily, right? Or you play Storm Totem or something like that, or you know what I'm saying, like where he hits the entire screen, and then
that line of text for hardcore seems like it's going to be completely busted, and we're going to see like some crazy amount of ward being generated, because like that's only one source. It's
I haven't really seen anyone use this item yet on like a planner that at all. Kind of like I've been scrolling Reddit and stuff, but I think this would definitely be in the sleeper category of like potential. All right, we're rushing. Boom, boom, boom. Speedrunning. Amuletos.
Yeah,
the amuletos. Okay, amulets. Quick. Volca. Thoughts. Boom.
Okay, so the tank amulet is very, very good. So the whatever it's called, Blossom of Immortal Stone, converts like damage to physical. Use it on Judgment at the moment, and also Earthquake, so you don't need to build any res. It's like a better Orianzai, pretty much. Actually perfect. It's like made for Judgment. I feel like they saw that we're using Orianzai and be like, okay, let's make an item for Judgment.
Yeah, they thought, let's make Judgment stronger.
yeah. I mean, it comes with attunement, like it makes you so tanky. So, and you actually benefit quite a bit from the like not having to build res and stuff. Goes nicely with null portento, goes nicely. Just stack
holy fuck, it's so nice.
So,
yeah.
But this one doesn't give DPS most often, unless you gain something back from not building res or something. So it's kind of like people are not that excited maybe, but it's very good for tankiness.
I do think this item also kind of like allows you to maybe break the cycle a bit of the combo of all rest blessing, double red ring, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because it's like you get way less value from these things, and I kind of like it. The fact that you can actually use this item as a, hey, you know what? I really want these rings to go a bit more aggressive, or DPS, or I'm playing a melee build, or I want to use Doom combo, whatever. And now you're just gonna be able to get tankiness out of this item, which again, the armor mitigation, the armor, like, bro, like it's this item is objectively one of, in my opinion, is like one of the best items of the primordials. It's just crazy, like it's great. It's a crazy.
And I think this one is drop only, so I think you can't buy this one.
Drop only, huh?
So, yeah.
Well, for sure, it's gonna be. What are the chances that, because it has point damage reflection and all this bullshit, it's gonna be in order to get this, you're gonna have to kill this ultimate beast with void corruption that only spawns in fucking 500 corruption plus, and it's like a void infused aura beast bullshit. Yeah, maybe chat is not seeing this one, is what I'm trying to say. We will see. All right, we'll see.
Yeah,
Hopefully they're
Void as
accessible.
physical is pretty crazy. Anything as fizz is pretty crazy. Yeah.
And especially on a sentinel with increased 60% increased armor on top of it, like, bro. And keep in mind, the armor mitigation versus dots will also apply to poison, necrotic, and void damage over time, right? So giga, basically.
Yeah, very giga,
very giga.
Insane.
And then I would say quite opposites in the terms of what they're trying to do, these two items, but very cool, at least very cools. We have the True Sight Glass for crit and the Wildfire Embers for dots. I've seen a lot of fuss about Wildfire Embers in general by content creators, etc. Thoughts?
Well, I mean,
I think that one we're gonna have to wait to test it in game. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like test how it actually works, how it, like, too many unknowns on this one, I guess.
Yeah, I'm curious how the echoes or whatever, like the wisps work. Like, are they actually, like, let's like ignore the ignite stuff and let's assume they actually add to your DPS by basically giving you like echo or something. The wisps, maybe it's good. Or maybe, of course, you can make an ignite build. That's pretty obvious. I saw some builds with like Heartseeker ignite or something. We'll see.
To me, this item looks the best with Acid Flask, which is already a fucking crazy ass build. If you don't wanna if you don't wanna play the crit version that also scales, fire resistance and all that. Well, this one double this, right? You get the ignite chance, and you get the more multiplier from the tree, and you can also get like more spreading with spreading flames on top with scepter and stuff. So you could make a pretty fucking crazy like spread Acid Flask single target. It's gonna do a lot of fucking damage. Like, but in anything else, is this suddenly making ignite top tier? I don't know.
We'll see.
Tank in chat is saying, we'll take a look at them, that the drop only primordials, which we already know, but just reminder for chat, are Blossom of the Immortal Stone, which is this amulet that we just talked about, the Carrion of Creation, which are the Giga Bleed gloves that everyone loves. We have mentioned them briefly. We'll take a look at them. And then Permanence of Primal Knowledge, which we are going to take a look briefly in a bit. Shall we continue then? Next slot.
I think we skipped over the crit amulet.
Oh,
I mean that one is I guess kind of simple.
Yeah.
Thing is, like, we don't know if this, because you need to be over 100% crit chance to get like this like super crit, like 40% more damage basically, 40% chance to deal super crit. So does this work with like skill crits? Let's say you have a hammer throw with like +4 base crit into 3.
Well,
so or does it have to be on the character sheet?
The devs have been saying on Reddit and stuff that it does work with the skill things, but the devs also said that a lot of things during this patch cycle. So I mean, I don't think the devs are lying, but sometimes how they should work or how they think that work, then so maybe it should work like that. We'll see. We'll see.
Hopefully it works like that, because otherwise it's not that great for if
you. It's gonna be great to test this one too, right? It's gonna be great to test this one.
Yeah. But could be nice for something. I don't have it on any build at the moment.
And again, if you have a really good one, right? With it, you max roll the less damage taken on the implicit, and you max roll the crit multi, and you max roll the increased cooldown recovery, and you max roll the crit avoidance, it starts being appealing. But you know, we'll see. Going overboard, building more crit just for this. I know. I think I can see this item paired with, like, intelligence stackers that don't use Vilatrias, right? And might as well. Oh, I'm overstacked on intelligence on Sork anyway. Might as well put this in for 30% more damage. I could see this used on like builds that use the peak of the mountain, right? And eventually just overcap crit so much that you just like, you know what? Or I could see this used on spellblades in general. The ones that stack intelligence and dexterity. Because again, they just have so much. Eventually, you're stacking. You want to stack dexterity no matter what, and intelligence no matter what. And a lot of the times, you're not even looking at the crit chance. It's just like, and your stats. It might just be like one of those items where like you equip it to do Uber in like under X minutes, and then maybe for mapping you equip something a bit more reliable. It's gonna be a lot of damage though. Will be a lot of damage.
We'll see. Next slot.
But we'll see. Yeah. Next is Lotterino. Which one do you guys next? We go weapons, or do we go... I think weapons last, no? Maybe? Because there's more?
Yeah, sure.
Or Ringerinos, then. There's two. Bina? Legends, you're using this one, no? I think?
Yeah, Legends Entwined makes a lot of sense on Lightning Blast. It's the first build I looked at. I looked at what...
Nobody thought of that one, actually, Bina. That was just like... What? Like... No one could see this one coming. It was true discovery.
It's pretty straightforward. I looked at what Frozen Sentinel did. He's planning on playing Lightning Blast as well, I think. Pinching low. I played Lightning Blast last patch, so basically Lightning Blast stays the same, at least for like the core of the build kind of stays the same. But this enables the use of Vilatria, and then Vilatria is gonna give us even more flat spell damage, and then you get some procs. You get a few other procs on that build as well, and so that's going to buff it quite significantly. We're getting a second set as well with the Ferrobor set, so that's like plus skills per complete set, which will add, getting access to more plus skills on that build. It makes a lot of sense. But I could see this being used on other... I mean, with Vilatria, it just makes a lot of sense, right? Because as soon as you're in stacking, like, it just makes sense to go that way. But maybe I see this on some other bullshit proc spells, like as many procs as possible, and getting a lot of different skills to have flat damage added to them with Vilatria.
Yeah,
I kind of need to cook a little bit more on that, or think about it. But it's cool. I thought they would add more sets to the with this patch. Unfortunately, they did not, right? But
yeah, no changes.
Because I thought last patch was the patch where, we just added the sets like last minute, and we're gonna... I think they even said that, we're gonna add more sets in the future. I thought it was gonna be like this patch.
They say a lot of things. They say a lot of things.
Especially with this ring, like it's the perfect ring to introduce with some sort of a rework to certain sets, and then making them better and more sets. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and we're gonna see some shenanigans of like very clever stuff, like, oh wow, look, I'm using exalted boots anyway. Might as well sear a tier 1. For example, imagine you're playing Abilatrias, right? And I don't know, you haven't found your unique boots yet. Well, might as well just during progression, not so much for the end game, right? During progression, might as well like, let me seal, I don't know, the mountain set, the avalanche set that gives me fucking damage, at least from what I'm leveling. Why not, right?
The thing is, this ring, when you're making a build, you want to now look at all the sets and see, okay, is there a set that would benefit me? Because that ring is a possible contender for... Also, plus skills is nice, and attack and cast speed and all res. Like, it has a lot of good stuff on it.
Cost opportunity, right? Do I want the plus skills? Is it actually game breaking, or am I getting 5% cast speed of these plus skills, right? Like,
because getting a set also gives you more than just the set with this ring. So yeah, it opens up some decent set options at least.
On the bulk scale, not so cool though, no? Like flowers, not so badass.
It's not really like Giga. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's like kind of soy item, I feel.
Yeah,
no?
kind of true actually. Kind of true.
Yeah, like not. I mean, no blood, no spikes. Like next,
Yeah,
basically.
that is
No
indeed
blood,
the
no
case, yeah.
spikes. Next. And then we have I think this one is interesting. I actually haven't really even thought about this item. It's like in the back of my hand and in the back of my mind, and I'll look at it eventually.
Yeah, same for me. Like I don't really have any idea on this ring.
So basically, for people in chat, basically this will reduce your spell mana cost by almost half, but it also reduces your total mana by half. So the idea here is like to find some sort of equilibrium where you're actually able to have mana sustain that doesn't really care about your total mana, right? And you're actually trying to reduce the mana spent. So you can basically find a perfect balance of like, even though you have a very small mana pool, like let's just say you should be spending, let's just say you had 50, like 100 mana, and you spend 50 and 50, but you will always generate 50, right? So before that, you would have to auto-attack, to generate back the 100, you would have to auto-attack twice, right? Or let's just say the ability costs 100 and you have 100 mana, but you can only generate 50. Well, you're going to have to auto-attack with the generator twice to get the 50. Whereas, like with this, you actually going to get only 50 mana, but the ability is also going down to 50 mana. So now a single auto is going to generate the full mana that you spent. So theoretically, as long as you have a source of flat generation that gives you back quite a substantial amount of mana, we're thinking about, again, things like Tempest Strike, things like, Sentinel multi-strike bullshit. You could potentially make some things that are not really meant to be sustainable, let's just say. But again, this is a bit more of like we need a bit of a bootcamp on this one. I don't know. Any thoughts on this at first sight, or kind of like in the back of your head, guys?
At least for me, it's still not clear what you would use this on, or
Yeah,
I haven't looked at.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Meteor mana strike. Holy.
Yeah.
Shatter strike, maybe. Shatter strike, just to giga spam. I don't know.
Blue feather for mana gain, but crown for mana regen.
It's spell only, no? It's only spell mana cost, so maybe not mana strike.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
No strike
Misha baiting me, once again, make me look foolish. 2 primordials, giga chat. Hell yeah. Well, good. Next slot. I don't want to sidetrack too much. There's a lot to cover today, so I think there's only one belt, no?
Yeah, one belt.
The Lich, like the score, and this is another Reddit item. Like they love this one. I don't know.
The frenzy effect. Did you know, guys, that it get increased by frenzy effect? Like,
frenzy effect increases anything.
Same as on
frenzy.
like Swordcatcher, for example.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take even more damage than the 50%.
Yeah. Again, I'm not gonna lie. When I read the first line and I got excited, and then I wrote the second line, and then I stopped reading. Pretty much, I stopped reading. But I think if you're playing softcore and you don't want to go running around with Doom stuff, and it could actually open up because you don't need Doom Ring, because you can just kind of go for this instead of getting the Doom plus this. Plus the belt, for example, or you're getting Doom from your weapon, right? From the Apathies or whatever, or from the boots. If you're playing Shadow Cascade, for example, who knows, right? You might be able to be like, you know what? Like this belt is easier for me to get level 55 potential instead of like Shattered Chains, which is like fucking higher, right? I don't know. We'll see. 20 effect of frenzy. We'll see. Kind of a bit of a softcore item in my eyes.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to add, or shall I speak?
I mean, not much to say. I think it's just kind of looks bad at the moment. Maybe there's some crazy tech with the leech or something. Because I mean, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I think people are using it with Scorn to get more leech, so they can increase the leech passive. That again, that's another big question mark. How that shit is gonna work, right? Like I've seen a lot of Scorn builds with millions of damage theory crafted on Reddit. Discord, we will see. If
Yeah.
if they do what they say. All right, Reliquia. Okay, actually my new favorite item here. So I think Reliquary Nest, Giga, I think. For me, it's funny that these two are together. Well, of course they're together, because I was doing a lot of minion builds, so I went for the school at the beginning for Beastmaster especially, right? Because you're stacking strength, you get the fucking cleaver solution, blah blah blah, right? And you double dib, it's great. But I actually had to end up removing it because I asked the devs if the Tyrannosaurus Rex was considered a temporal minion, like a bee or like a vine or something like that, minions that have duration, or if it was considered a full-on permanent minion, because permanent minions do take the same priority when it comes to Inheritance of the Erased buff, and unfortunately the T-Rex does count like a full-on minion, so it basically steals Inheritance of the Erased, which is going to be very popular to solve crits on single companion builds. So unfortunately, I had to drop it, even though, we're still using it on Raptors and stuff because it's Giga, right? But, well, I went to the second, I said, okay, what else can I use on Relic? And I found this thing. And yeah, I mean, this item is actually, I think this is Giga, basically. For like all attributes, which helps a lot for everything, right? Endurance on top of that. And then the 60% increased effect of all idols that are not unique meaning Throne of Ambition and these things, like actual uniques. Yeah, I mean, if you have a build that really wants to scale with idols, I'm thinking again, a Reflect Shield Throw, or like, you want to use something that you just want to get a shit ton of HP in hardcore through building a bunch of HP idols and get this. You're building, again, we're using it on Earthquake Bear, because the only way to get cooldown for your Earthquake is actually idols, minion cooldown 20%. And this actually basically gives you another 20%, right? And it also gives you 60% more aspect of the shark on your idols, which you're already getting 60%, right? So you're getting another, 30% aspect of the shark through this, and you're getting HP on your... It is a very, 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 very... and 20%... increased endurance threshold also. 20% increased endurance threshold, bro. Like, especially if you're playing a primalist, blah blah. 10 all res, and you're pairing it with the new amulet and all that. Potent, So I love this item. Again, doesn't look Giga
I'm using this
either.
on Ballista as well. Yeah. I think I'm using this on Ballista because
Yeah,
Ballista you get like 200% crit multi base on your idols. So that would give you like 120 without any enchants, another 120.
Yep.
Yeah, it's quite potent. Yes.
Quite potent,
Potent
or for example, you drop a, I'm using one of those idols that give you 9% HP with a bit of crit avoidance, and you always have to high roll the crit avoidance, otherwise everything goes to shit. Well, now, if you roll like a 20-ish, you're fine because you're getting like 30-ish, right? So yeah, it's really I think, again, one of my favorite items personally. And you could definitely use this item just to kind of break the game in a way. Again, I'm thinking you play a poison build, poison effect suddenly on all your enchants, poison duration, whatever. Normally you would get like 40% or whatever it is now. Suddenly you get another thing, and then you're getting HP on top of that, and on the Chaos Bolt that scales HP. I don't know. I think this item is, you can basically fit on any build, and it's a good option basically on so many builds. It's great. Yeah. Melee flat idols, bro, like the ones that give you flat with increased. Holy, yeah.
Holy. I mean, it's a like overall good item.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Only thing is you can't have the Uber relic with this. Like that's the main downside, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't have it all, But
yeah. Maybe next patch we can have 2 relics. Boom, Insane.
Double relic, one on each ball, Giga.
Holy.
All right, boots. Hello, darkness, my old friend. But we do have
Where are they?
Yeah, we have
skin
the Flay
boots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which are
Army of skin.
which
Oh,
for melee builds, they're basically well, how do I even look
we
at
already
this item?
like talk about this like
not
super
just for
OP.
melee builds, not just for melee builds, because keep in mind these boots have lower LPL.
Yeah.
These boots are
Yeah, yeah.
basically mountain boots, but good, fast mountain
Yeah,
boot.
yeah, they're 40% movement speed, so actually it's like at the top of the like highest movement speed boots.
And
in
evade
the game.
cooldown and jig attacks,
Yeah.
you know, more melee damage to high health enemies, which for mapping is gonna be I mean
Yeah. That one on Erasing Strike is going to be funny, 50% more damage because you're going to one-shot everything. I mean, you one-shot everything anyways, but now you're going to one-shot even harder, right? So
yeah.
that's going to be a funny
Yeah,
one.
the foreskin boots are gonna be giga, basically. You know,
Or skin boots.
they kind of look like it too. Whatever, like this. Whatever. Okay, good build,
Oh,
good,
Oh my
good,
God.
good item. Okay.
And also the Flay stuff itself, like the effect. I mean, it's good for Flay. Surprise, surprise. You get actually 170% increase area, and you get like 76 flat melee. So like it's good also for that, and you can summon the skeletons for the Flay build to then automatically consume and blah 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 all that stuff.
Yeah, and
So,
for something
overall, amazing.
for some of the, and this is what we mean with the stronger builds also get stronger, because maybe someone is thinking, oh fuck, I'm gonna use this on harvest and now I'm gonna get attack speed on my boots. This is gonna be great. It's like, you know who else can use this? Erasing Strike. You know who else can use this?
Yeah.
Warpath. You know, so.
Yeah, the attack speed of Warpath is gonna be so nice, so much damage from that.
Yeah, your damage on a Erasing Strike after the nerf is actually gonna be higher with these boots.
Yeah.
You know, like, like. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, we go into the Globerino slot. Boom. So these two are drop only too, just like the amulet we looked at, the conversion amulet. These two are drop only. You can kind of guess it obviously by their level and their legendary potential level. And I guess we can start talking about the bleed gloves. Polka, I know you've been looking at them quite a bit.
I think these are like, people are hyped, and I mean, looks very fun because you're gonna basically have like blood explosions kinda with these gloves. Like you kill enemies and they pop, pretty much explode, and then you convert all these like ignite, frostbite, whatever. You convert all of that to bleed. So like for sure, one easy thing for any build using this, you go for the blessings for the like frostbite chance, you know, ignite chance. That's gonna be a lot of bleed chance just from the blessings alone, like 400% or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, on like bleed hammered, for example, this is gonna like at least double my damage on bleed hammered, at least, because it's so much bleed chance, and you don't. I mean, it's amazing item, amazing item.
And also very important to mention that I actually asked a bit around this item because I was curious, and I had actually some of the devs in my chat confirming some info. But the explosion, it is a hit, right? It does have an area attack, and it's a hit. So it can basically chain off itself, right? So basically, you're going to have bleeds on an enemy, you're going to kill it, it's going to explode, and if you have enough bleed chance, you're not only going to apply the 20 bleed chance from the first enemy, in case you had 20, you're also going to apply extra from the hit of the explosion itself, because it's a hit that applies extra, right? And on top of that, if there's, let's just say there's like a big enemy in between of two small enemies, the 20 that are going to, you're going to be able to get 20 from one enemy to 20 from one other, just like you can do with what is it called? Healing Hands bullshit, you know, with the electrify spread that you can kind of like make it multiply if you choose different targets and stuff. So this potentially can create like a bit of glad PoE Bive explosion bleeds, kind of, you know, you boop, pop, 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 like very satisfying, probably very fun. But again, they are drop only. They're level 81 potential. It's the highest, I think, of all of them. This might be pretty rare, guys. We will see, right?
Yeah, and I mean, these do also have the kind of like downside of you can't use Immortal Vice, but I mean, you have to use this on a bleed build. It's a crazy item for bleed, and they're on a good base. It's still the armor base. So.
Yeah, Giga base, always good. Yeah, really good, really cool item. Really cool item.
Yeah.
And what about permanence of primal knowledge? Also drop, and this is, I guess, for those who don't understand what this does, This item basically takes any slam. So legendary affix are the ones that are like, you know, when you make a legendary, the ones that are actually bonk, right? The ones that you craft through Julra slamming. The ones that are skill level related, right? Like +2 skills, etc. Their stats get increased by 50%. I would assume this not only includes the, and this is an assumption, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I would assume that it takes the skill plus whatever it's giving you, right? So, for example, on something like, again, Ballista, who knows what, I would just give you a +8 Ballista, but it will also give you the attack speed, right? That it comes with at the plus levels. Or if you're playing plus Meteor, it wouldn't, and you have a tier 7, it would give you like another +2. You would go from +4 to +6, but you will also get the increased spell damage that comes with it, right? Again, comes with area, comes with mana, a bit of a caster item looks like. And I think the value of this is like, hey, I'm playing a build where I think this is kind of like old concept for builds back in the day, but builds that need multiple levels of skills. I'm thinking, you remember Bina when we played Static Orb, for example, what you would have levels of Static Orb, levels of Lightning Blast on the helmet, and that was really hard to get. And you had to choose which one was your Exalted and all that. Now with this, for example, that could like really pop off. Obviously, that build doesn't really exist anymore. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Kind of like fantasy item, get a shit ton of plus skills. I don't know.
Yeah.
Odds?
I feel like the fact that it's on the glove slot and you can't use Immortal Vice, it's a primordial unique. It's like a very like high opportunity cost. So, like if it was some other slot or something, I would be excited. But I don't know.
Same with these gloves, no? Like Immortal Vice are just.
Yeah.
Like the fact that, for example, every time I open up a planner and I see Lich and they're not using either the spell gloves or this, it's like, oh, well, I mean, I just like click.
Yeah.
A lot of friction. I mean, it's good too, no? Like these items are so good, you can only have one, and they're actually competing with really good items on top of it. Bro, it's,
I would guess you can get the bleed gloves earlier than Uber Aberrot, so like it should be pre-Immortal Vice. I would guess, but who knows?
Well, I mean, maybe these are your ticket, you know, into them. Yes,
with Karen of Creation though, like where is Salt the Wound? You know, those are like a bleed gloves, like the previous.
It's an outdated item. That one.
You know, it's like what's gonna happen with that? You know.
Well, it's gonna happen the same that it happens currently. They're gonna stay in the fucking database, you know, unused.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know. Yeah. I wish they give them effect or duration or something again, something more unique, right? Imagine if it was duration instead of pen, like the effect, like.
Even then, like building crit multi on those builds, it's actually because you can just build some other stat instead, so it's kind of yeah.
But you know, Blade Dancer things, I don't know, whatever. Okay, we start the Giga section. Weapons.
Holy.
Are you ready for this one, Bina? Or are you sweating already?
Bro, I need to check. I need to freaking work on the builds.
Hey, one more hour and we're good, okay?
10 more hours, you know.
10 more hours of podcasting and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leave.
Well, I guess I'll.
So much to do.
I guess I'll speak about this one. Obviously, the first state of this weapon got shown. Was like almost double the stats, right? Yeah. And obviously they have nerfed it since I made the video and stuff, and there was a lot of confusion on how this item actually worked and stuff. They fully panicked and they nerfed it, and I mean, we were pretty happy that they did nerf it, because otherwise you were gonna see this item on every build pretty much, right? We actually had a bit of a if you were a dev, you wouldn't want to be reading our Discord, is what I'm trying to say, right? I would have been banned. So I'm joking, but yeah, this item has been nerfed. You're still gonna be able to use it for shenanigans, right? You're gonna see, oh, how the fuck is this guy playing this build I'm playing, and he just went in and one shot what the fuck? And you're gonna see the planner, you're gonna open the planner, oh, okay, it's just like Harmony abusing, okay, like next build, you know. That's
would
basically
have been really bad meta
Yeah.
for the game, and overall, like, it's a balancing nightmare. Like, it would have been. It's so,
this item is either broken or shit, no? So it's kind of and I wish they made it work only for blues, and they made it like super low level like it is, just because actually leveling with this sounds like actually kind of fun, you know?
Yeah.
With like, imagine you give yourself like tier 7 fucking AoE or whatever, and you're just like full screening the campaign. I don't know. I wish they kind of like went for that. But yeah, nope.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
Horn of the Bone Wisp, the pretty interesting weapon. You familiar with this one?
Things like I feel like on most builds this doesn't really like give you anything new or like special. It's just stats. I mean, it has the flame ward stuff that would work for any class, I guess. So like acolyte or something can get flame ward, but you know.
I can't wait for the clickbaiting. Really tanky build. Here's a clip proving it. You know, look, it can tank tier 4 Jura, and they go in, and right before Jura does the explosion, they're gonna get the cheeky dash in, you know, to proc the flame ward. You know, hey, see, I tanked it. You know,
Yeah.
you know, I like it. It's literally a stat stick, right? Literally.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's that's pretty much it. Notable mention: you can get flame ward on any class, so that's it. Cool, I guess. Okay. Spirit.
Wait, it doesn't put it on.
What?
It doesn't put it on cooldown.
It doesn't
right?
put it on
link?
cooldown. It doesn't use charges. No.
Oh. Does it use a tree?
Yes. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, it
using
should
it on
be.
Glacier. I'm using it on Glacier. I haven't updated it yet, but just so you guys, I'm using it on Glacier.
That's
You
There's-
get 2
yeah,
extra
good.
flame wards per 16 seconds. That's pretty nice.
Yep. So
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
have basically, if you manage your flame wars properly, it's basically always up, pretty much. And on a build that is, and you know, they get plus levels, plus intelligence. Like, it's a lot of stats, increased spell damage, and especially now that they nerfed the fucking wrong drop bullshit. Appealing to say the least. It's a lot of stats, and I think this is the
Yeah.
kind of item that you consider if there's nothing better on the primordial slot, right? Because there's a lot of giga stuff. So
Yeah.
all right, Spirit Shilem.
Yeah, the attunement stacker stuff.
Yep.
I mean, seems good. Attunement is good, you know. Get HP and mana, like even more mana. But now you get also HP per attunement and good stats, even more
Yeah.
damage to bosses and stuff. So
Well, you know what I saw? I saw that I read the patch notes. I saw that they capped the node. Surprise, surprise! They capped.
Whoa! What? No
oh,
way.
What's the? I
They
don't remember what's
capped
the
a
name.
node?
Excited bolts.
Holy.
In Gathering Storm, which gives you. It consumes a certain portion of your mana pool and of your mana, and then it gives you more damage per max mana per current mana. Per current mana. It's now capped at 1,000 mana, basically. 300% more damage maximum. I'm guessing if that wasn't capped, this would have been pretty nice, I think.
I personally think, like, even
Yeah.
with the cap, this item for hardcore is like really strong. Like, because you can go where tornado, for example. You don't build any mana, right? And just like actual mana affixes or whatever, you build attunement, you know, which will give you your free crit avoidance because you're a werebear, and you know you get the attunement, you know, that node that gives you the crit avoidance stuff, and then you're getting like 1,200 mana, so you're basically capping the mana necessary for the node, so you don't have to build anything else. You get fucking 800 HP, which gets multiplied by werebear form and druid passive and all the more HPs that you have there. And then you can actually just use all your rest of the affixes and on full damage, you know? Like, instead of building mana and attunement, you can actually go full crit multi. You can go... So I think this potentially makes the build obviously way more tanky and way more balanced, actually, in terms of balance and in where the strengths lie on the build. I really like it. And attunement...
has 20% more damage line
Yes.
as well to bosses and rares. It's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And less damage taken if you go low. So you could even consider using, like, again, like on that build, on the werebear build, you could even consider using a what is it called, the seed and stuff, right? So, and reduce cost also for tornadoes and stuff. Like, bro, like I'm telling you, a good weapon. Tornado Bear, I would play with this just for, just.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, from this, I would say on the Volca tier list of cool.
Holy.
You want to speak yourself?
The
I feel
primal
like I'm
cadence. So basically, this gives you overkill damage when you kill stuff, right? And it's gonna be overkill damage in an AOE. So with this, you can actually finally play a hammer build that you don't need to respec. You can just play with one hammer, and it's gonna like. I mean, hopefully the AOE is big enough, but it's gonna like do splash damage with the hammer, and you can actually clear.
So
that's the main.
For anyone wondering, right? I'm gonna do a bit of pain here. What we're expecting this to work is like you are the thing. There's a few enemies here, yeah, all of these enemies, and then we are gonna throw a single hammer. We hope the AOE is big enough so it can hit things, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully, the overkill damage, because your first hit is gonna have all the multipliers from single hammer. It should be able to hit really fucking hard. Like, again, we're talking like 100k hits even, no? Like Volca.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a lot of DPS on.
A lot of DPS, and even if you
get the weapon has like huge like damage stats, like increased damage and stuff. So
yeah,
very good.
And increased damage. So we're expecting like a single hammer could like potentially clear, literally the full corridor of a tomb with a single hammer.
Yeah,
like, hopefully.
And if you like press Alt on the item, I think it says like it can basically chain.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't. Mounting a mount. Oh, there you go.
Huh?
There you go. It says, are you guys here? Or? The direct damage does not count as a hit and does not scale with your stats. However, it can trigger this effect itself.
Yeah. So it should be basically crazy. And that one build, the hammer build, is like you can't play it without this item, because otherwise you have no AOE, and it's so this basically enables it, and it has like really good stats. And actually, I feel like they made this weapon for hammer because it's like it's a melee weapon, but it has stats that works with like throwing attacks, like increased hit damage and crit chance. And,
generic and generic crit chance, and it's and this could potentially solve. By the way, single minion builds. If like a lot of people ask, hey, how is the clear on Werebear? I mean, if you just use this, like for example, and so I might mention it as things get more mainstream. But
I guess the one thing here is like if you have bad damage, I guess you won't overkill the enemies.
Yeah.
So then but yeah. So
but if they follow a Maxroll build, they will always have good damage, right?
True. So, this is true. Yeah.
Of course. Okay. Velocities Raptor Jaw.
Okay, so this one I have on Harvest of all builds. I think it's gonna be good on Rogue, most likely also. But it's a stat stick dagger. Gives you a bunch of dex and stuff. Movement speed per dexterity also. So with 100 dex, you get like 10% extra move speed.
Yeah.
So 20% from the whole item pen. So it's a good like overall.
I am using it on the new Shadow, Razorfall Blade Dancer. 16 dex plus 4 for the Falcon's skills and all that shit. And like zoom 40 pen, for your shadow daggers and all that. Like, and we dropped the bow because of this weapon exists pretty much, and we're just going full shadow dagger stuff, and should be pretty giga.
Yeah.
Really good. I mean, really good stat stick. I think from the stat sticks is probably one of the most. The 40 pen alone is.
I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good to have some things like, hey, my build doesn't use any of these niche things. Oh, but I'm dexterity, boom. And actually, we have one of each, no? We have a dexterity one, we have an intelligence one, we have the strength one. So, it's good. There's opportunities there. Okay. Giga. Mace.
This one is quite cool, yeah. So it basically doubles the stats of your offhand exalted weapon. So you can kind of get like you kind of have like 2 weapons in the offhand in a way.
Yeah.
You do need like a specific build for this, because dual wielding first, and then not using like a unique or legendary on the offhand and stuff. So
yeah.
So yeah, but
or
might be good.
Yeah, or these crazy cases where you actually, now that we have the new glyph of the new glyph of Envy that changes the base of items. Imagine you find like a triple tier 7 katana or whatever. You're like, wait, holy fuck! Like, hey, might as well use this thing, and now suddenly, it's useful. So.
Yeah,
really cool.
Really cool. Yeah, something like crystal sword base, eagle wing, or like any of these like good bases, and then you get triple T7 or something. Yeah. Also comes with 13 all attributes. That's the last line, so that's pretty crazy actually. 13 all. So.
Yeah, 13 all mitigation. Because that's the thing. These items not only provide their value as an item, but they also provide solutions to problems. Right? How many times you played a sentinel melee? And because you're building crit everywhere on attack speed, you can't build attributes for your red rings or whatever. And now suddenly it's like, hey, if I use this weapon, I actually don't have to worry about attributes. I don't have to do it, right? So it's great that a lot of these items actually have more attributes. And I kind of think they're trying to create less friction with items like Shatter Worlds and these things. So you can actually... pair them with red rings without feeling that friction, which is cool. I think that was all of them, no?
I think so, yeah.
Epoch, yes. There's another belt that we're not gonna talk about because whatever, And I might ask you, Tarek, we start talking about items and stuff like, if you could get one of these items at level 1, you appear on the first zone, and you get an item. Which one is your speedrunning character choosing?
You know what it is, no?
No, that's why I'm asking. But, wow.
It's fucking Harmony, bro. It's literally too.
Oh, shit! What can I say? I was right all along. OP item, it is what it is.
If you can only choose one item, it should be Harmony, because then it's
actually
easy to get
Giga.
Get magic.
True.
Yeah, Giga brain. And what is your favorite, Tarek? Which one is your favorite? Like the one that you like the design the most, even if it's not super strong.
The relic. I like kind of like you. I really like the relic giving increased effect of idols.
Yeah,
because it enables like
nest,
some niche builds or niche stats to scale way higher. I think it's really cool design.
Yeah, we forgot one item because it's a class specific item. Oops. We forgot Hydra Arc. Okay, that's Hydra Arc. Next, I guess. It is a bit of a stat stick. I like the flat down. I'm using it on Hail of Arrows, which the effect doesn't work. So that's it all.
Yeah, I actually saw it there. I was like, why is this here? Oh, yeah, the stats. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I am using it for this. Because, again, +4 dexterity, 16 dex on Hail of Arrows, every point is more damage, basically, right? So, yeah. And this goes back to what we started talking with Bina and Tarek and the rest at the beginning of the podcast of things get better. Like, for example, the fact that right now I have some skill trees that without actually anything too crazy, I think my bear or my raptor or something, my saber-tooth is +36, right? I didn't even go for it. I just have it, And the thing is, like, there's actually still things that you want to get, right? Which comes down to, which is kind of like the sidetrack to get into, like, there's skills that even at 20 points, your last remaining points are like, what the fuck am I going to get? Like, who cares? It's 20% stun chance, who cares, right? And then you have skills where, like, you're at 30 or 30 plus, and you're still like, for example, Crows, no, Bina, that it's a good example. Like, if you could take literally the entire tree, like, you would almost, right? It's crazy. So, yeah. I mean, big power creep benefits the builds that have the higher ceiling even to grow, so.
Yeah. Should we look at the tier list quickly and then, yeah.
Guys, what is this level of energy? You guys are really tired. Dead, no? You have to pretend you're not.
This for 2 hours and 13 minutes. Let me cook. You know?
Yeah.
Let me cook.
Oh, I'm enjoying this, guys. This is retribution. Okay, tier list quickly. We don't talk about the low shit. We talk about the good shit.
Yeah.
Quickly. Big winners, big losers.
So Warpath, Erasing Strike, Judgment still S. Nothing changed. They're actually some of them better, pretty much all of them better. Voidwell just makes it so it's a bit like rough on the early game. You need more mana to make it nice on the Voidwell stackers. Yeah. And then the A tier, like new Lich builds, are A at the moment. We will see where Flay goes. Maybe it's actually a crazy S or maybe it's just B. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the A tiers are like really freaking good. Like pretty much, yeah. I mean, you feel like you want to put them in S, and then you're like, okay, but S is like really giga. So I don't know. The power creep is just it's hard to get my head around the power creep dispatch. It's pretty amazing how much more how much more power builds have. In comparison to the last patch. Last patch, I thought, okay, I mean, we test rigorously, and then we know exactly how much damage how much time it takes to kill a dummy and whatever. And then now it's just like, okay, dummies they don't exist. I don't know, like they just blow up. The dummies blow up. We need tankier dummies.
Yeah, literally tankier dummies. Imagine. Right?
Yeah. I mean, keep in mind this tier list is just like pre-patch. It will be updated and everything like after the patch. So it's not final, but yeah, like A tier is like very, very, very good builds. A tier.
All the builds here like are playable, and if you want to have fun and you don't care about the meta, and you can play all of them. Now I would be aware of stuff in D, right? Like, but even the C tier builds are they're playable. They're playable. But the jump between C and S is the Lamborghini Bean I was talking about, compared to walking barefoot in the middle of a desert. That's the level. And again, the A tier builds, again, if you don't push the super, super high content, you're not even going to realize they're not S, pretty much, right? Like, because they're still going to zoom through the game and destroy everything. Unless you go Ubers and stuff, like, you'll be fine. What is your favorite build of the patch? What do you expect? Volka? The biggest winner? The biggest loser, maybe?
Well, I mean, for overall, like, best non-minion build at the moment seems to be Warpath, because it was already crazy and now it's actually better. So, and there's no downside to the build. It's just amazing damage, amazing everything. I think for like new builds, what looks the coolest is the Flay build, but we'll have to see if it's actually good, basically.
Yeah.
But I think that's the coolest build.
Tarek, what's your opinion?
Fucking Abomination, man.
Yeah.
Abomination and Earthquake, I'm gonna play them, so I have to think that they're the coolest, right? Even though that's not true.
Tarek, do you think with these builds it's possible to do this sub 15-hour Ubers and stuff in softcore rushing and stuff?
Yeah, that's gonna be my goal this time. We got Uber last patch, right? So we didn't especially because we were in city, we couldn't really like do a whole preparation around it. And imagine if I was the first one to kill Uber, like people have like complained a lot. So
yeah, we basically hold down pretty much. Like my character was ready for my judgment. I knew I could tank it because I've done the fight 500 times and I didn't do it because well, Caesar is hosting a race. If fucking CTs win it, well, maybe he doesn't do it again, right? So you kind of like take,
that's about outlook on the game. So
yeah,
we don't really do that. But this time I want to be fast, and I will be the first one to kill it in softcore. So I've been looking at Bear, Earthquake, Abomination, what else? Falcon, because even after the nerf, I think it's still going to be pretty good. But yeah, we'll see.
I think Abom without gear is probably better, no? Because it's easier to get crit.
Yeah, and Abom, you can go with the spear as well, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't really scale the flat with the boots.
No.
And yeah, we'll see.
And what is the build you think? Like, I used to like I guess Falconer. No, give us our thoughts actually. Falconer, Detch, not Detch, Uber? Like, what is your thought?
No, I think still killing Uber really, really fast.
Yeah, but are
Really,
you
really
playing
fast.
Dive Bomb still, or?
Yeah, Dive Bomb, maybe the bleed version.
Yeah.
I haven't really like calculated the damage of the bleed version yet, but
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting on that, on the Koreans to figure it out for me, and then yoink.
what
You know?
what I'm worried about is the line that said that now the Falcon dive at the end, like the Shadow Falcon dive
Yeah.
at the end of the main Falcon dive.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's gonna work. Like there's so many things going on in this build that
I
it's
think
pretty
that
hard to
I think
theorycraft.
that potentially it's gonna basically slow down the rotation, because the main Falcon's gonna fall, and then when the shadows will. It's not gonna be the permanent dun 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 that allows you to. No, I don't know. We'll see. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. And Bina, what's your expertise here? Best build you expect for the patch? And
I mean, I think it's gonna be a Bear Beastmaster patch. It seems like all the arrows seems to point in that direction. Like you talked about the numbers on the dummy and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's just it's kind of stupid numbers, but like I mean, it is what it is, you know. Like minions are bad, so they need to buff them. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a I think it's gonna be a big Beastmaster patch. I think out of all of these builds, probably Bear is gonna be the most popular one. Being here on the tier list, being probably played by MP in his group with Snap and whatnot, and then yeah, I think Bear is just, you know, pretty unequivocally, you know, seems like the best DPS option, and people like damage, people like big damage.
Yeah.
So I think that's like one of the big winners of the patch. In terms of losers, I think they really went hard on my poor crows.
Really, huh?
Even though they're still good, they're still gonna be good. They're not gonna be, you know, there's not gonna be. Just like I said in the previous patch, there's no reason to play anything else in crows if you're playing a companion, like a a minion. On Primalist, I think this patch, it's like if you're not playing Bear, what are you doing, right?
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, like for fun, for they're still gonna be good, but not as good as Bear. But one thing I really like is with the new primordial ring on Lightning Blast. I had a real, like, okay, no pun intended, but I had a real blast playing Lightning Blast last patch. And now it basically doubled in damage, just about. So
big winner, yeah. Lightning Blast, yeah. I agree.
It's a huge winner. It's like think about this. Last patch it was A tier. This patch it doubles in damage, and it still doesn't make it into S tier.
Yeah.
So
it's actually not even close. It's not even close.
Right? Like bro, how are the S tier builds doing? Like, I don't know.
That's the crazy thing. It's like, oh, but Lightning Blast does like 30 million DPS now or whatever, right? Or 60 or whatever it is. Bro, like, the Bear is gonna fucking Earthquake once, and it's gonna do 500 million with one Earthquake on Endgame gear, you know?
Like again, Lightning Blast on Endgame gear is like 25 million DPS or something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Imagine, and again, can you imagine the softcore boys with Harmony, Bear, Earthquake, full damage, full aspect of the Shark prefix, double tier 7 Harmony, flat damage? Bro, like, I think Bear, I might actually make it my goal, even if it's on softcore, if with I die, I might actually just go for it, just one shot Uber, one Earthquake, boom. And if not, the softcore boys will do it, the trade boys, right? So yeah. And again, as always, we talk with these big terms about this is dog shit. We express ourselves in a very candid way because we're friends here. But of course, the patch is your patch. You play what you like. Like the tier lists are there, but no one's like pushing them into your face. If you want to look at the tier list, you look at the tier list. If you don't give a fuck about the tier list, who cares, right? It's your game. Do what you want. And the tier list will be there forever, pretty much, and it will always be accurate as long as we put in the work and the team stays together and strong. So I know Bina has a lot of work to do, but I want to thank all the team as always for being the best and doing very hard work, a lot of research, talking to, and yeah, they're the best, And once again, even though you see like someone writing a guide or whatever. That doesn't mean that person did it on its own. I didn't make Earthquake Bear alone. There was a lot of theory crafting, a lot of sharing with Terek, with even from people who are not on the official team, like Misha and like Zekar and other people sharing numbers. So again, big shout out to everyone helping, and yeah, have fun.
Oh, talking about not
Yeah.
people not on the official team, I think it's nice. It would be nice to like talk
sure.
a little, that one. Well, just shout out a little bit.
Sure.
The new affiliate creators that are joining Maxroll. So we have, off the top of my head, I don't want to miss anyone, but like just off the top of my head, just Frozen Sentinel, Dread,
Pinching Loaf, and Trickster. They're
Trickster.
Yeah. So yeah, we basically have Maxroll approached me with this program thingy, and it's meant to basically incentivize, using the planner, creating a community, kind of creating a hub that is a bit more catered and a bit more selected, I guess. And I provided a list of a lot of names. Some of the names didn't make it, and that's what it is, because maybe they weren't big enough or whatever. And but yeah, they picked these 4 guys who are like very important members of the community. And obviously, if you like what they're doing, if you want us to see that they're doing good, go rate their builds. Let us show us that you guys like what they do. And yeah, that they obviously have opportunities maybe in the future to join the core team if they commit and all that. So yeah, big shout out to these guys and for using the superior planner, of course. And yeah, big good shout out. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add? I don't want to take more of your time. Actually, big question. What are you guys starting? What the fuck? Like, what am I? Polka, what are you? I forgot you are not playing. Sorry, but offline.
No, I mean, I'm gonna play if I have time, right? I want to play the Flay build. I want to play my new hammered in Giga Chad build with the mace or the axe,
shit.
overkill stuff. So maybe I do this old safe way to like judgment leveling and then swap to the hammer build, or we'll see. Because I don't think you can play Flay. It's just, I mean, you can't start with it really. So yeah.
Softcore, hardcore, solo. What is the plan, Volka, for this one?
I think, solo for sure. I think softcore not though, because yeah, I mean, I'm
COF,
not gonna be like, yeah, COF solo, yeah, softcore, yeah. I don't think I go hardcore this time.
Chilling,
You should go hardcore, man. You should go hardcore. Go hardcore.
I mean,
Do it.
We'll see.
I mean, Volka, if you had to rate on your scale of badass, hardcore versus softcore, what would you say? Like, think about it.
I mean, it is true.
It is true, but who cares, right?
Yeah, kinda.
And Terek, what are you playing?
Bro, I still don't know. It's either gonna be.
Oh shit!
He's
keeping it to himself. He wants the world record. He knows exactly. Oh shit!
For
No,
Uber, right, Derek? Racing for Uber.
Yeah. It's for Uber. Basically, the whole starter is defined by what can kill Uber with like cheap gear. So it's either going to be like Earthquake Bear. I don't know how much gear you need for that. Or it's going to be Abomination. Like either one of the two.
Giga.
So yeah, I still need to work a lot. Probably no sleep, bro.
So Derek, are you going solo softcore or what?
Yeah, solo softcore, COF.
Okay.
All the.
Okay. Because I would assume the group would still get it first, kind of, no? Or
no.
Ooh, big words. Okay, I like it.
No, it's Snap who told me.
Yeah, nice.
Snap.
I mean, the portals and stuff slow down a lot the party, right? The party gets quite messy at the beginning with all the portaling and.
Yeah,
stuff,
but I think party play, if you're really like giga min-maxing and you practiced a lot, it's faster, right, than solo. But if you don't do that, solo is going to be faster, right?
Okay, because I guess they're going in raw basically, right? Like Snap is just gonna give them the builds and just go raw, right?
Yeah, or maybe they have like one practice run. I don't know.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, it's also the fact that like group play, you can also cheese the boss, right? You can have like way more damage than solo. But if like there are builds that can kill it as a solo player really early without much gear, then I think solo is probably going to be faster.
Well, you got a lot of practice with your fucking CHP Falcon here last patch, so good luck, Derek, with your endeavors. And I hope, if it happens, everyone goes watch and support,
Dude, I've been doing zero practice.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like riding a bike, bro. Once you learn Abaroth, you never forget it, right?
True, true. It's getting there that's going to be challenging. We'll see.
Giga. And Vina, what are you playing?
I'm playing hardcore, but I don't know what build. I want to race to something or both, either level 100 or Uber Aberoth. If I go for a level 100, maybe I play Ballista because Ballista is Ballista. Yeah. If I go for Uber, maybe I start like totems into bear or something like that.
Yeah.
I think bear. I mean, Misha's gonna say abomination because I don't play acolyte. Okay, I don't play acolyte. Acolyte is
he doesn't play it. He doesn't play it.
But maybe bear. I don't know.
If you were
but
aiming at
Warpath seems, yeah.
If you were aiming at both, you actually probably play some sort of shaman, right? Or tornado or something, speedy and fasty maybe, and
But
then you switch to bear, no, or what?
I won't get both.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's either I go for one or the other, because either I focus on gear or I focus on.
Yeah, but the thing with hardcore is like, okay, Rody is gonna be fucking lurking in chat, sleeping without 30 hours. You know, he's gonna take time off work. The fucking 40-year-old chilling in his sofa. You know, absolute machine. You know.
Hey, he lives next to me. I'll go to his
like a
place
fucking
and
giga chat. You know, like. And then I'm thinking, okay, do I want to compete without a full week of no sleep versus a fucking engineered machine of a 40-year-old man no sleep prodigy? So I'm like telling myself, I mean, if I go for
win last patch for level
100? He's won
the
last 3. Like since 1.0, he's won all of them. I mean, he's always behind me on day 1 because he's a slow fuck, you know. But he does have the endurance, you know, and the time, I guess. Rode is a really good player, for those who don't know. He's like a great guy. And he's thinking about playing Rune Master, he told me. Like Brand of Deception, strength stacking, just rushing XP. Which is, I think it's a pretty... I mean, he mainly play, like, I think Mage is his favorite class. So... And he's pretty sad about his Serpent dying, so...
yeah, I don't know about that build actually with some new primordial and stuff. Might be. I don't know. Anyways.
Well,
okay. Can I go work? Let's go work. Let's go work. Let's go cook. Okay.
All right. See ya,
GG,
everyone.
Guys, yeah.
Yeah. Big kiss.
GG. Holy.
Going back to the go to the cave.
Go back to the basement, guys.
Will Bina stream this week? We will see. I'm looking.
I'm streaming right now.
Double dipping.
To work.
Working, you know. Like I did this too today. I put starting stream for 2 hours while I was working, you know.
Oh my god.
All right. Thank you guys for being here again. Hopefully we can make another one like after the level 100s and Ubers are done, kind of to give a bit of a quick update. So we'll see you guys there.
We'll probably do some weekly ones for
weekly until we're dead again. Yeah.
All
right. Thank you guys for being here and
see ya.
GG.
GG.